All right, and we're live. Before we get into that conversation, though, a couple of announcements. As people might be able to see, we did cross that 50 mark threshold by a lot,
Woo!
by more than triple. We're currently up to 186.
Whoa.
So thank you to all the viewers that decided to come in, especially those that came in from Twitter over that week period. Being that we did hit affiliate, you're going to see some updates to the stream. Let us know some channel point uses that you might want to see in the future. This goes for players too. If you guys have things that you would like to have points spendable on, this could be, in the options of reinforcements for you guys come in, or reinforcements for the bad guys come in. Along with that, our Dice Maiden did roll, and TPK Vath is our winner for the PHP. So post today's stream, we'll go ahead and reach out to TPK Vath if he's not on at some point during the stream. With that, I'll go ahead and let you guys hop into RP as to what happened with your downtimes, unless somebody wants to do a quick recap before we get there.
Also, before we start that,
I can do the recap.
we said we're up to 182 followers now?
186.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Didn't it?
Like everything Drawho's involved in.
Proceed.
Last week we went to the fight arena again, and we ended up fighting a gnome construct. It was basically more of a pilotable construct, I guess you could call it. And
A Gundam. Just call it a Gundam.
yeah, it was a Gundam, a gnome Gundam. And afterwards, during the fight, we were poisoned by some unknown source. We can only assume it was somebody trying to either sabotage the fight or just get us out of the way in general. We visited our local merchants at the town, and aside from that, I don't think there was anything else that happened last week.
Well, Art got a lovely little gift tied to his mall that he has no idea why everyone's making a fuss about.
Oh yeah, and Art got it on with the local lady of the town. Do with that as you will.
All we did was beat each other up. I don't know why everyone's making such a fuss.
Giggity.
Giggity.
Yeah, you're about to piss Drawho off even worse.
You're about to get all fisty in there.
Let's keep it PG, people.
I almost fell out of my chair. That's great.
PG-13.
If
We
anything
also
else to add.
had what was the other major thing that happened that day? Oh yeah, we no, the Thieves Guild stuff was all a video side to this.
That
was
was?
something that happened in. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, that's the main stuff. Could have been the Thieves Guild that poisoned us. Could have been the noble that's is going to give me his entire team when he loses to us.
We also found out that Eno's bargain with Bahamut for protecting the Ivory Dragonstone is now over, and he is aging quite rapidly.
Yeah, but we decided to just put him to work like all senior citizens.
We asked politely, and he agreed.
Hey, in elf years, he's 350 years old. He's old enough to work.
I think he's older than both of the elves in this party.
Nope, I'm older than him by 2 years.
But I do believe that about sums it up.
All right. So with that, you guys end up going about and doing your own individual things. Go ahead and fire through downtime.
Okay, I can start off. So, being as Drawho did what Drawho does, I invested in some businesses, mostly a flexure and a architect design company. I spent most of my time running up and down the city, hiring as many realtors as I could find to locate us a house, and making excuses why the 150 to 250,000 gold price tag was reasonable, but we really wanted something smaller and a little more subdued, and not that I couldn't pay it. And then I also did some adamantine work on my rapier and got myself my own quiver of adamantine arrows, which we still have enough adamantine. If somebody else wants to coat a single weapon, we should be able to cover everyone. And, oh yeah, Kibble, complaining about not getting paid enough, decided to get involved with some nefarious hood rat stuff. He's currently involved in a gang of some kind, and I don't trust him around my stuff anymore.
Why have you neglected paying Kibble? Just
because I was going to have the party pay him in unison, because Draho spends way too much money to pay him a decent wage, and he's helped you guys as much as he's helped me. I was going to have the party chip in on his pay, but I never got around to that because we had so much major stuff happen, and now he's complaining that he's not getting paid, and he started getting involved with gangs.
No, sounds like problem solved then.
Yeah.
No, it's not, because he has a lot of access to our warehouse and a lot of my financial records.
You know what the solution is then?
Well, I've already hidden everything that can be hidden inside the box with a pseudo-dragon.
I still prefer my solution.
But yeah, that's what happened with Draho. He couldn't find a house, but he did make some investments. He, got Kibble involved in games accidentally, and now he's got to figure that out. Who did what else with their downtime?
What did you do, Fenrir?
I guess after we left the arena, before we left the arena, I tried to pick up as many of my adamantine arrows that were left lying around, because, those are kind of helpful.
And expensive.
And, afterwards, I probably just went for a drink and also tried to find as much information as probably I could on if anybody knew what the poison was that was sprayed into the arena, or if anybody knew who did it.
So for that, you tend to hit roadblock after roadblock with people either not knowing, not willing to give information, things along those lines.
Okay. And then I also probably, because I wanted to talk to you this before game Kadro, I really wanted to, but it mainly didn't happen because of my emergency earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about was I wanted to put in the goal for finding my family's kind of lost heirloom. Okay. Which would be a bow, kind of like the oath bow.
Yeah, for backstory stuff, fire that at me after session. That way I can prep up storyline for it.
But I wanted to, I'd probably go around looking for information about that too.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
So Nivara made a quick trip up to Tantris, following a lead she discovered about some cults worshipping a certain powerful individual that would help her potentially in her power struggle with Levistus. She found one in a house of ill repute and has made arrangements to go back to said house of ill repute during the Feast of the Moon in order to strike a bargain with said entity. She also was able to find out a little bit more about the spectral bindings that were afflicting her and get a little bit of help with that. So not quite as bad as they were before, but they're still there.
Tantris? I'm sorry, I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, it's the city we were at previously.
Oh,
or near.
Right. So how about Ark? What'd you do?
Well, Ark continued his sparring sessions with Lady McIntyre.
Is that what you call it?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Somehow we don't believe you.
Remember the discussion we had last week about talking over people. So, while he was there, he noticed that she would have some company occasionally, and once he showed up, she would shush them out of the room. But she didn't want to talk with them or about them, and then would just want to move on to the training regiment. He heard back from Castigan Mithril Hammer, who, to refresh everyone, is that dwarf that we found still on duty after 70 some odd years at the beginning of the mines, where we went and found Kibble initially. I wanted to discuss with him, and he responded that I could come and visit him anytime. He's actually working as a smith right now. I guess he decided to retire from guard duty for the time being. He also made contact with his bear spirit, who cannot find his sister in the village. And he's actually going to bring that up with you, because that concerns him. And he has to strike this balance between helping and also maintaining the secrecy of the location of his tribe. That's it.
All right, Kaizen.
Kaizen seems to disappear for several days. He spent the majority of his time communing with his patron, the Raven Queen, who has been sending him dreams and visions about the 13 individuals that we need to locate and destroy. He seems to have acquired some useful information. I know the names of all of them.
Oh,
I don't know
nice.
exactly much more than that, but I know the names of all of them. Now we have a way to track them down.
All right. Did you already give those to Eno, or do we got to go do that?
It took a week worth of meditation and visions just to get the names. So, a lot of nap time, a lot of forced nap time.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
After our fight last week, what was each of our... Did we split up the gold from winning that fight
That's correct.
yet? Okay, because I don't think I got an updated tally of what my money was.
Yep, should be in your Discord.
Okay. Because if so, I wanted to see about buying a particular something from somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
While you guys check that out, the rest of you are back in the Sword Tables Lounge and can discuss said downtimes with each other if you prefer.
Okay, well, first off, when I came out here, I did not bring Kibble along with me. He's off doing his own thing, which I can only assume is mugging old ladies in the street. Because I don't know what he's actually into yet. So, first thing I'm going to do is address this with... I'm going to pull Kaizen aside and speak to him directly, because I want to keep this on the down low so no one else knows that Kibble could be compromised. So yeah, I'm going to pull Kaizen to the side. Kai, could you come over here, please? Help me with this. Choose a wine from the shelf here.
Sure.
So once you get over there, I'm going to say, hey, a couple weeks ago when we were on that boat, you were talking in a lot of jargon with that dragon guy. I've heard that talk before. My dad used to employ an uncle from one of our branch families. They spoke like that a lot back in Mithranor, and he was known for making his money in less than legitimate ways. I got a feeling you're possibly know a little bit about what's going on in the less than legal side of town. I need you to look into something very discreetly without letting everyone else know.
Depends on what we're talking about.
We are talking about Kibble. He came in a couple days ago with a green translucent dagger, and he says he's in the Green Blades and he can't talk about it. And I don't know if I can trust him with any of my stuff now. So could you look into these guys for me discreetly so the rest of the party doesn't know?
I can do this for you, yes.
And how should I proceed with protecting our stuff from Kibble if he's decided to turn tail and start robbing us?
Well, speaking as a criminal, if I joined a secret club and really didn't want you to know, I probably wouldn't prominently display the token of the secret club. He's probably telling you in as discreet a way as possible that he has other interests. If he wanted your stuff and he was good at stealing things, he wouldn't say or do anything that would give you a reason to mistrust him. Particularly, he wouldn't flash a knife of odd quality and then say, I can't talk about it. So I'm going to suggest that your friend has given you a very subtle hint that he's done something neat. I don't think he would steal from you.
Okay.
As far as payment for his services, I have heard you mention if there is some issue of cash flows, I would be willing to chip in on that. He has been a useful source of skills.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about it sooner with the party, but I just never found time with the whole apocalypse coming upon us real quick like.
I guess I had assumed that he was receiving a full share because he's been doing a full share's worth of work.
Yeah, he used to skim off the top of everything he found. He was the primary finder, and he'd take a cut, but he stopped doing that after the trap room that drowned him. So I haven't had a chance to discuss actual payment with him.
My suggestion, if you want to make sure your personal items are as secure as they could possibly be, that you call a meeting with the rest of us. We vote as to whether or not we're going to either A, keep him on as a full-fledged member of this party, or dismiss him and allow him to do whatever it is he feels the need to do. And if we're going to keep him on, we should pay him, because he risks his life as much as the rest of us do.
Well, technically more lately. But okay, yeah, that's fair.
That would probably most likely be the fastest, easiest, and most forthright way to deal with your stress over losing. People that are well paid don't feel the need to steal from their employer.
Yeah, tell that to our last maid. Anyways, yeah, fair enough. I will have one of the mercs go pick up Kibble and bring him to us, and we'll have a discussion.
You mean you can't just call for him? You have to send somebody to fetch him?
I don't know where he went.
Well, perhaps we should talk with the other members of the party, and then when he gets back, include him.
Okay, yeah.
Because
Let's do
if
that.
he has joined a group of individuals and he is attempting to further himself, busting in on his deal is also uncool.
Very good point.
Because there are certain skills that he may be acquiring that you can't get at a school.
I don't know what you can learn that a school couldn't teach you, especially the colleges I put him through.
Now I'm going to ask you to think about that entire statement real hard and then ask if you can do the things that he can do. If no, you have your answer.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to call everyone together, we'll have a discussion about this because I think it's probably best we deal with this as soon as possible.
Sure. If I don't exactly know where specifically everyone is right this second, but we can send runners out, or I assume we eat and or convene at a regular place at a regular time for the most part.
More often than not.
Assumably we probably have scheduled dinners.
So why don't we just handle it over dinner?
Sounds good. All right, that's all I needed. So I'm gonna leave Kaizen at the bar and go sit at our usual tables.
Anything needed in the interim by anyone else, or do we move on to dinner?
I sent you a message through Discord, Pedro, but
I'm not seeing anything that's come through.
it's about to. It's sending now, it looks like. Damn internet.
Okay, well, while we wait on that, let's go ahead and move into the dinner where you guys are together.
Yes.
So, back at the Sword Tables Lounge, Titus brings out a small platter of mutton, cheese, soups, breads. Enough for everyone at the table.
Ooh, delicious.
Is kibble there too?
Not currently.
Okay.
Okay, well, once everyone sat down and they've got their food and they're looking comfortable, I'm going to have a bottle of nice but not too expensive brandy brought over. Pour everyone a glass and say, okay, guys, we need to discuss kibble.
Okay.
What about him?
Well, as you may or may not know, he used to make his money by skimming off at the top of everything he found for us. Then he had that incident where he learned that stealing is not good all the time. And now he hasn't been skimming, apparently, so we need to figure out how we're going to pay him going forward, because he is complaining about not being paid, and I do not have the cash flow to support him as an equal party member by myself.
Well, why weren't you just divvying it out to him in the first place? I thought you were the money man.
Yeah, might have been an oversight.
Might have been?
Might have been.
Sounds like it was.
So perhaps we should just call Kibble in, or rather when he gets here, make sure he understands it from here on. He's going to be treated as a full member of the party, including access to money.
I'll take the COP then, Pedro.
Yeah, I'm fine treating him as an equal member of the party.
Yeah.
I mean, he does his share of work.
I mean, I'm fine with paying him. He does a lot of work for us.
And he puts his life on the line just like the rest of us.
I definitely see him as pulling his
Like
weight.
if it wasn't for him in that ballista, we probably wouldn't have killed the golem.
Yeah.
He's fought alongside us. He's bled for us. He's nearly died for us a few times.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair.
All right, so we're all agreed he's going to start taking 4 shares. But as of right now, since I've already divvied the money, I have got 3,000 gold I can put towards him. What can anyone else chip in?
Well, what do we owe him?
I can chip in about 500 or so.
I couldn't even tell you what we owe him. That would be Kedra would have to tell me what we technically owe him if he was full share.
That's purely up to you guys.
Well, you're the one that was divvying the stuff up. I don't know how much we had in full.
It depends on the session, really.
Yeah.
Well, how much since we left since that adventure we came back from where he stopped stealing?
I'd have to go back through the notes. I can tell you that last session you had the 30,000 gold that you split 6 ways.
So
We can crunch the numbers later. Point is, we need to let Kibble know that we're going to give him an equal share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out instead of crunching the numbers. Now we'll figure that out post game what we owe him, and
We could always try to maybe give him a boost from here on out until we break even. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
oh, you mean just give him more of our going forward shares after we give him a little bit of something now?
Yeah, like throw an extra 10% before we split the rest, just to until we make it up to him. Something.
Yeah, if he'll go for it, I think we should leave him with that option.
Okay.
Hey, Will, can you take a look in your Discord?
Sure.
So, okay, so is Kibble showing up anytime during this meal, or?
Towards the end. So we'll say about now. You've eaten through most of the meal. There's still some left on the platter, and he comes in, kind of looks around, scurries up to the table, and then sets on the table a small, intricate-looking bag.
Hey,
welcome,
Kibble.
Hi. I found
What's up
this.
with the bag?
It's for you guys.
What is it?
It's a bag of holding.
Oh,
Really?
Uh-huh.
is this one yours, or is this a different one?
It belonged to somebody else who stole it, so I stole it.
Ah,
Seems fair.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Just just a bit of interest. Is the person who originally stole it still alive?
Yep.
Okay.
Do they know you took it from them?
They sure don't.
Good.
Well done, Kibble.
We have enough enemies right now that we don't
Do
know.
we get to know who you took it from?
I'd rather not say.
That's also fair.
So,
I-
Kibble,
I
we
think
were
they
discussing.
call it plausible deniability.
Yes.
I think I understand what he meant.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, that.
Well done.
I think I understand what that means.
I'll explain
if-
it to you later, Ark.
Yeah. Something you
Using these
barbarians
big
don't
words.
understand.
Okay, so Kibble, now that you're here, we've been discussing it, and first off, coming directly from me, because no one else will take the blame for this, I apologize for the lack of paying you recently. We've been very busy with my pursuits, and I forgot to equal out shares with you.
It's okay. I understand. I'm small.
But
I
we
don't
want
need a
to-
whole lot.
We want to make it up to you, and from this day going forward, you're getting equal shares, and we're going to pull what we have left, some of what we have left over, and help get most of what we owe you to you now. If you don't mind taking a little extra of shares going forward to make up the rest.
You don't need to do that. A fair share going forward is just fine.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
I want to cheat you on this. I realize you had to go seeking other income because I was unable to keep up with everything.
No, I wasn't seeking other income.
Oh, okay. So you do it for fun?
Sort of.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
This
the
is-
here and now is not the best time or place to discuss
discuss
this.
Come on, nobody comes in this place. We're the only patrons of any regularity.
That actually makes it worse.
I mean, I like the owner. Don't get me wrong, but we are in a very sketchy establishment right now.
We make it sketchy. That's the problem.
Well,
Exactly.
and we predictably come here, which means if people wanted to find out who or
What
what
we
or
were
what
up
we were
to.
doing, they obviously know where to look.
That is true. That's why I've been seeking a house for us, but been running up short lately. Apparently, once people hear my title, they assume that I'm living in the several 100,000 gold market for a house.
They're probably charging you by the hour because that's how long it takes for you to say your title.
Let me tell you this. That's why when you go house shopping in town, you take either me or Ark with you because we look like just like a bunch of deadbeat bums, and they know we can't afford shit.
Well, then they'd mistake you for my hired help.
I think you missed the part that when I'm walking around town, I'm wearing my fancy clothes. Because I want to look more
You
Sydney.
also missed the part where we very publicly destroyed a very large metal thing.
Yeah,
in a very
there's also
loud
that.
and flashy. One would
There's
even
also
say
the part where they-
trickier.
That
I
wasn't
think-
very publicly. That was still in the
I do
underground
on
section.
regularity transform into a wolf.
Also, the
Yeah.
last time you tried to use that method, you nearly got us kicked out of the fighting pits.
That is true.
Well,
We do
perhaps-
gotta be more cautious. And by we, I mean Draho, who started it.
The best way to do this would be to contact somebody who's from here, who thinks highly of us, who could use their influence and knowledge of the area to acquire us the things we need. At a
Yeah.
reasonable price.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. We'll do that going forward.
So,
Mark,
at
I
about
understand
this
you
point,
know somebody that might be able to pull some strings for us.
I mean, she did get us the right paperwork to get to your land. I mentioned
Yeah.
that, right? And I pulled that, you know.
Mhm.
So, at about this point, Naivara, you can hear just faintly the sound of kind of a rapping drum beat outside.
Jumanji.
You beat me to it, damn it.
I shush the rest of the party and listen closely.
And as you do that, everybody else can kind of hear that same drum beat. Seems to be slowly getting closer.
Dum, 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 dum,
Can
dum,
I,
dum, dum.
Pedro, can I, like, you know, I don't know how to put this, like, if I were to, like, semi-morph, like, so I had, like, my animal hearing, could I make out anything more than just the drum beat?
Just seems to be a drum beat.
Okay.
Draho being the
Almost like-
inquisitive.
Like a
Arrogant
little drummer
bastard.
boy, but much louder.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So
open
kind
the
of like-
door and look because Draho's not
Like-
subtle.
Sorry, say that again, Faerun?
Sorry.
I was like so like kind of like a rhythmic drumming they use for like soldiers marching kind
Correct.
of deal.
Yep. Just not, instead of like a snare drum, it sounds much deeper.
So would I recognize this from like my time as a soldier / knight?
You'd be familiar with it, yes.
All right, then I tell the rest of the party I think there's like a battalion or at least a squad of soldiers coming this way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Draho's gonna go open the door and see what's happening.
I'm going with Draho.
Okay.
I
So-
follow them both.
As you open the door, down the street, you can see what looks to be a 10-year-old boy, but he has this big bass drum strapped to his chest, and it's just thud, 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 as he's
What time of
slowly
day is
walking
it?
towards you with these drumsticks in each hand.
What time of day is it?
Being that you guys just had evening meal, we'll go with about 7 p.m.
Hey, people
Okay.
are trying to relax after a hard day of work. How about you cut off the drum?
I just grab Draho's wrist and I'm just like, Draho, quiet, we don't need trouble.
What is with you barbarians
What?
and your
What
wrist locks?
what he was trying to say is, what's got you out drumming this late in the day?
Well, as the kid gets up to you, you can see in one of his hands a small scroll, and he kind of spins his sticks, sets them down. Are you Ark of Arachnophobia?
I am.
This is for you. And he
Oh.
holds out the scroll.
Oh. Okay. I thank you very much, and I hand him a silver. Thank you for your effort there.
You are most
I
welcome.
also give the kid I say to the kid, apologies, and I flip him a gold coin.
Oh, well,
Sorry
thank
for this one.
you. And at that point, he turns and starts to wander off, no longer drumming.
After I've given him the silver and Fender has given him the gold, I look over at Draho.
What?
You guys might want to stand inside. There's no telling who this might be from.
Well, I think we should go back in the building and read it. Well, you should read it, and we
I want
should
to
read it over
open
your
and
shoulder.
find out if it explodes first.
Why would it explode? Well, who's the
Remember how
whose,
he tried to poison us twice?
whose insignia is on it? It's clearly a royal missive. Whose insignia is on it?
Okay, remember how two times in the past month someone's tried to poison us?
Stronger than the weak ass elf,
Hold
so I
on,
just
Fenrir.
drag him inside.
Ark was talking.
Okay. Twice in the past month, someone's tried to poison us. Go inside, and if it doesn't try to kill me, I'll bring it in and read it.
All right, I'll be dragged in by Fenrir, reluctantly.
I'm going to try to stand like a little more in the middle of the street, so that way if there is an area of effect, it isn't more directly one way or the other.
You guys are so distrustful of me. I don't know how that
Right.
happened.
It comes with experience.
All right. We'll pause on that for a sec. Fenrir, what were you saying?
Comes with experience having years of DM.
Alrighty. So in that case, I assume you open the letter.
Yes.
You can tell from the insignia that it's from the McIntyre estate. As you open it, it reads, "Greetings, Arachnophobia. It has come to my attention that you are looking for a new home within our city. One has recently come into my possession, and I would like to offer it to you yet again for all the thanks you have done for our, yet again as thanks for all that you have done for our family. It is the old manor of one Heinrich Durstwinkel. He was an insane old man who had performed some terrible things before his death, or so a group of Richco agents has informed me. You can find the old manor due east from town, specifically from the Southern Shutters neighborhood. Richco agents have already cleared the manor house out for you at my behest. Thank you again, and welcome to the city. Kind regards, Lady McIntyre."
Does it smell like the ribbon?
It does.
Okay, I walk back. I walk back to the tavern.
And I
Okay,
will
so we
drop
have a
that in
house.
Discord just so you guys have a full review of it.
So I burst back in. Hey guys, our house problem solved.
What do you mean our house problem solved?
I let Draho read it because he would demand to anyway.
Yeah. Okay. As he starts reading it, Draho's brow furrows. He
She's
starts
a really nice lady.
starts murmuring words, gets right around the bottom of it, rolls it back up, hands it back to you, goes, "Well, obviously, my hunt has led her to realize we need a place to stay. I guess it's all thanks to me that we now have a house. You're all welcome." And I'm very reluctantly going to walk away.
As I hear this to Draho, I say very sarcastically, "Yes, Draho, it was all according to you and your well thought out plan."
Thank you.
Out of character, I just love how Art keeps blundering into upsetting you.
Yeah. Nothing quite like spending 2 weeks hunting for a house just to have some guy get one gifted to him by his wealthy sugar mama.
All I had to do was beat her up and she'll give me anything I want. Wait, now that I put it like that.
All right. So what would you guys like to do?
Well, obviously we need to go investigate our new house.
Tomorrow, because, it's...
It's
Oh,
like,
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, the name of whose house it is would have struck a memory with me due to my schnoozing with nobles looking for leads on a house, right?
I love
Yep,
how
that's right.
even when you're just explaining why you're gonna make this this check, you sound like Draho.
yeah.
Well, I happen to have heard, which is why I sort of saw this coming, a lot of rumors about what happened to that Heinrich Durstwinkel's house. It's apparently big news amongst the nobles that it was, to put simple, this dude was seeking a way to find immortality, and he was really heavily involved with the undead, and it was like a miniature moving graveyard up there. So if this is the same house, then we definitely want to walk in there a little, like, allegedly these people that cleared it out swept it clean and looted it, so don't expect to find anything. Swept it clean and found all the undead and took care of them, but I mean, not everybody has our precision and experience and what's the word?
I don't think it's anything we can't handle.
Yeah, so I think we should investigate it, but let's definitely go prepared and cautiously.
Right. After a good night's sleep.
Yeah, we can go first thing in the morning. It's our house now, so.
Pedro?
It's in the middle of the street.
Huh?
Our house, in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
I need to sing it?
A
no.
house is in
Basically, I think it's that red blip that was on the map earlier.
That's correct.
I don't see the map, so.
Another settlement needs your help. I'll mark it on your map.
No, because I don't have FDO up, so.
Okay, so it looks like I found us a house. You're all welcome.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and go back to my food.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Post dinner, anything you guys need to do before heading to bed?
I just need to tell
Oh.
you that because of
Go ahead,
my
Faerun.
new equipment,
Mhm.
because of my new equipment, Pedro, my AC is up to 18, not 17,
Yep, I already made the
and
adjustment.
then I'll probably go to bed. Okay, then I have to go to bed, and I'll go to bed.
Okay.
Unless I'm not gonna do anything else. Probably grab a drink though. But
Nope, Navarre's good.
Alrighty.
Ark also would have mentioned after we got the house information that he would have mentioned. So I sent my bear spirit to inform my sister back in my village of everything that transpired and the threat that we face. It can't find her in the village. I would like for us, as soon as we can, to go visit my village, but they're very wary of outsiders, and I need everyone to kind of be on their best behavior and follow my lead. I kind of make eye contact with Draho when I say that part.
What? Why me?
Also, Kibble, if you choose to come with us on this, it's best you stay hidden until I introduce you to whoever meets us on the road.
He grabs his cloak and just kind of goes.
I meant stay in the cart. We're gonna take the carts there, but
Oh, okay.
I need them to greet me and accept everyone else. I'm sure you understand why.
Uh-huh.
You're a special case.
Yeah.
I'm sure my
special.
friend they would accept me with open arms.
I mean, they're gonna look at you but anyway. But I need to warn my village. I also need to know where my sister is.
If it's
So-
about
Well, we're
finding
happy.
lost family, I support families 100%. We definitely need to get you out of town and away from Lady McIntyre to find your sister.
I think Draho's
like
more.
mentioning Lady McIntyre was completely unnecessary within the context, but sure.
Well, Draho's main motivation for joining this plan is obviously the fact that it gets you away from her.
Right, I got that. Why you keep making such a big deal about this? She's just a very nice lady. We saved her life. Like, she's just very grateful. Also,
Yeah,
she's a
but
good
it's
fighter.
just Our,
She keeps up with me
not
pretty well.
proper.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's all it is. I get what you're playing at. I understand.
Ark, I'll explain it to you later.
What's it? No, I understand it. I just explained it to you. Why?
I will explain to you why Draho thinks this is a big deal.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. All nobles keep low-class mistresses.
Did you just call me a mistress?
Draho definitely said that loud enough to be heard, but not loud enough to draw attention enough to start a fight.
I think that's up to me to decide if that starts a fight. Which it doesn't, but that's not the point. Anyway, after having said that, Ark will try to find at least a place in the city, because it is a little late, that has some natural land that hasn't been paved over.
Oh yeah, there are several parks.
Okay. Commune with this bear spirit again and see if it can contact the Council of Shamans.
Okay. It kind of comes before you, and in the ground scratches what looks to be a very poorly drawn kind of set of huts with fires around them.
After that, I immediately run back to the tavern. I find whoever in the group the party is still awake, and if not, I wake someone up.
Draho would still be drinking. He only needs 4 hours.
Okay, Draho, we're not looking at the house tomorrow. We're going to go for my village. It's worse than I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely.
We're
Sooner
not-
we're out of town, the better.
We're not going to be of use to anyone unless we sleep. Let everyone else sleep, but that's what we're doing.
So do you want me to start prepping stuff for tomorrow's trip so we can take off first thing in the morning?
If you could order our guards to set that up, yeah.
I'll personally manage it, make sure nothing's forgotten. This seems very stressful to you, and I care about getting you out of town as soon as possible. And I pat you on the shoulder gently and walk away.
Even when you're doing something nice, you find a way to be kind of a dick.
Draho in a nutshell.
Yeah, so that's what Draho's going to go pull together his troops and have them prepare our carts for the morning. The 2 carts that are functioning right now, because I know one's on a caravan run.
Okay.
Should be 1 adamantine and 1 non-adamantine at this point.
Actually, the second one has been upgraded.
So we only
Upgrades,
have,
people. Upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Upgrade.
So we have all 3 of them finished, or just 2?
All 3.
All 3? Awesome. Yeah, then we got the 2 that are left here. I'll have them prepped and ready and, get my sleep in and then be prepared first thing in the morning to send a guard to each person's room to wake them up and bring them at first light.
Okay.
You're right.
And that's it.
Alrighty. Any final things before people nap off for the night?
Yeah, I need to find Navarra.
Okay.
Yes, guy?
I hand you a ring. Here, you'll probably need this. It's fire resistance.
No, thank you. That will be very helpful.
And then I walk away.
All right. I will go ahead and put it on. I assume it takes attunement.
That is correct.
I'll go ahead and attune that overnight then.
Okay. So with that then, morning comes. Gibble sets out a appropriate breakfast for you. Sausage links, bacon, eggs, some flapjacks. And a very nice kind of flower-scented orange juice. Kai, you notice that some of the flowers are the ones that you were looking for.
This is impressive. Where did the flowers come from?
I went over to the temple that you were talking about, and in their tree, it has fruits.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you ask them before you took them?
And everybody else was taking them. I thought it was okay. It just kind of kept making new ones.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Gibble, something you should learn is you don't steal from temples. Bad idea.
I didn't steal from the temple. They were giving them away. Everybody was
There
taking
you go.
them.
That was the question.
But Just so you know, don't steal from temples. Never good.
Yeah, that's not entirely true either. If you can steal something from a Temple of Mask,
Okay.
I mean, let's not get pedantic here. That's one specific instance where it's okay. Generally, not a good idea.
Not a good idea. We're trying to teach them generalized rules, not the every exception to a generalized rule.
So, Ark, during the night, you do receive a vision. Basically, it looks like your entirety of your tribe set fire to their own kind of yurts and has opted to move. Overall, it looks like they're safe, but a choice was made to relocate.
Okay. Do I see anything beyond that?
Nothing that gives you pause at the moment.
Okay.
So we
that
have
was
no idea.
beautiful and well done. And I have to appreciate that.
Hey, I've only got a couple months left. I got to work on my dad jokes.
Oh my
That's
god.
bad. Okay, well, as everyone's eating breakfast, Draho's gonna bust in
Okay.
to the room very dramatically.
I'm a little too in character because it took me a second to get that.
Yeah, Draho's gonna bust in. All right, guys, I sent a guard to each of your rooms. I assume you all know we're leaving today, so finish up quick. Let's get in the cart, get everyone out of town, especially you, Ark.
About that.
What? No, we're leaving.
My spirit contacted me during the night, made things a little more clear. My people will do this on occasion if we feel that our location may no longer be safe. What they did, they weren't attacked. They purposefully burnt down the village and left. They decided to choose a different location. So I'm certain that once they set up again, I'll have a way of finding where they are.
Oh,
But we can stay. So everyone can kind of just chill.
yay! We get to stay in town. So I guess plans change. The wagons are loaded. Let's head to the house.
Draho seems to find this situation unbearable.
Draho just went through a circus of emotions in one night.
Well, you guys have spoiled him by always pandering to him.
I never pandered to Draho.
I get it.
I didn't. I must have missed it.
While I'm in here
It was a pun, I'm
doing
glad I
this, does
did.
anyone else need a long rest set up on their character sheet?
I
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Did
I mean,
anybody
so I'm
spend hit dice for any reason?
Nope.
I mean,
I think I need a long
You'll be
rest.
very, very, very well rested. So
Yeah, I just needed my hit dice reset because I spent them and I wasn't able to rest or to bring them back.
Oh, sure, no worries. I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody.
Who has an owl?
I have a familiar.
we've got
Oh,
two familiars in the party, actually.
All right.
So,
I'm being
do
told
we know
it's
where
National
our
Dog
young
Day,
ladies?
and that we need to show off the mascot. Come here. Guess it's
well,
a
I am a
mascot.
dog.
You have a mascot? Oh
yeah.
my god, you have a mascot.
Aw.
Pedro, I want your dog right now. Get him to me.
What's its name?
That is Mavis.
Mavis.
Why did you do that to that poor animal?
She loves
Shown
it.
us a dog that is adorable, and now you take it away from us.
That I
You are
did.
evil.
It's going to bring destruction and ruin to the whole world. Yes, it is. Yes,
Yes,
it is.
I may have to put it up as channel points for people to have the puppy come over. Get a puppy cam.
Yes, we want this.
Attach a GoPro to the dog. Set up miniature mans.
Doable.
Well,
Have the
it
dog
depends
run
on the
through
dog.
the
If you put a
miniature
GoPro on my
Where's
dog,
the
all
dragon
you'd see
now?
is the hind leg.
Bonus, it looks like Misaki has just shown up, so let's go ahead
Hello,
and get
hello.
this reset real quick.
What's up?
Apologies
So you
for
missed
the
all the
adjustments.
drama. Draho found us a house, and we need to get out of town soon.
Hey, Pedro
Yes,
brought
yes.
his puppy
Raho
to
found us a house.
Yeah, who was living in it?
Crazy
Over
It's
necromancer.
a
No
legit
one?
question and pertinent.
A necromancer
It
who
was
was
pertinent.
having an undead party up there, but it's all been dealt with. Hopefully.
We've been told.
We're going to make sure it was done right.
Was it a monster mash? An undead smash?
No, I'm pretty sure it was just a bunch of ash zombies.
All I'm saying is if there are a bunch of flying heads and candelabras that are breakable, I'm out.
But what if they start
That's a
singing about
Belmont thing.
What if they start singing about being their guest?
Yeah.
And then I'm back in.
Okay.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
Hey, copyright.
Why does the furniture look like it's watching us?
I left. He left. The table left. We killed the table. Everybody had a good time.
We melted the spoon down in a boiler.
Why do you always have your crossbow at the table? Freaking
I don't know what I
Decepticon.
just clicked, but I think I just rolled a crap load of dice.
Why did you roll that?
I clicked a button and it rolled every dice.
3d8, 2d20, and a d10.
That is how much paranoid money Lord Raho is afeared that he has lost.
I mean, Drago's just paranoid in general.
I have
It's not
reason to
paranoid
be.
if it
I
actually
have
happens.
assets.
Okay,
To
bro.
be fair, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
This is
There's a
true.
rule. There's a word for people who think everyone's out to get them. That's right, perceptive.
Hey, Kedro.
Go ahead, Misaki.
Did the updating things happen that we were talking about today?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if I had to still adjust anything on the sheet.
I think so. You may need to double check.
Yeah, short story. We've got a cart built up for a long travel, but we're only going to the edge of town.
It still worked.
Yeah, but now I'm going to have to make the guys unload this stuff after I made them work through the night to load it. You know how pissed they're going to be?
We're going to want to have food and stuff in our house.
Nah, fair enough.
Sounds like you just got to pay him more.
We
You're
will
so
have
good
to-
at that.
Oh, is this going to be a thing now? Are you
Yeah.
guys going to start double checking my figures?
Pretty much.
I mean, you openly admitted you made a mistake, which in and of itself was a mistake.
No,
I'm
it
gonna
shows
get-
character growth. Character growth. He's
I'm-
admitting his faults.
I'm going to purchase you a handbag so you can carry around your paperwork
Oh,
as
Nope,
appropriate.
nope. Now. He's
No.
admitted he made a mistake. Admitting that there is a problem is the first step to solving it. It's the first time he's admitted to making a mistake. And how long?
Ever?
327 years, I'm assuming.
Kid, I wanna
Marked
message you in
improvement. Marked improvement.
Well, also, I mean, in true Draho fashion, it wasn't entirely altruistic. I did want to make sure that he wouldn't steal from me.
See, he had an ulterior motive. That
Always
self-served
do.
him.
Always do. Draho doesn't do anything solely out of the goodness of his heart.
Okay. So
Does he have one of those?
Sure he does. I mean, assumably, all living things have a heart.
let's do a whole episode on elven physiology.
Yes, 12 inches. Next question.
I'm assuming you mean your whole arm.
Is this where
Yeah,
we,
exactly.
we magic school bus and go inside of Draho?
At my old school, we weren't allowed to. Okay.
So you guys are heading to the old mansion then, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Off to our completely copyright-free mystery-solving people in a van adventure.
Indeed.
But on our way there, I'm going to swing by the warehouse and pick up a couple of the guards to help unload the stuff at our
Okay.
new house.
Yep, they'll come along. So as you make your way up there, you find that the old mansion is perched atop a barren old hill.
We got some work to do.
Very true. You can see that there are withered trees that line a path to the door, and the mansion has long been empty. Moss hangs from the cracks of the wooden siding. Shutters slam every now and again with kind of a light breeze, and the boards of the ancient porch are crumbling. There's an old oak door that hangs open.
Oh, the door? They left the door open?
They did.
What kind of amateur adventurers?
Oh, what, do you want a refund on all the money you didn't pay them to do this?
Look, a lot of work into finding us this house. They could at least close the door. What if the place has been looted a second time?
It wouldn't be as fun, though.
If it was already cleared out, what would there have been to take a second time, Draho?
I don't know.
Speaking
The furniture? The marble floors?
I'm gonna
You have
walk
no
into the
idea
house.
what was in here
Alrighty.
to be taken.
All right.
So just inside the front door is what seems to have been once a comfortable sitting room. Moldy scraps of an ancient rug lay frayed and in tangles on the floor. Rotten wallpaper hangs in great peels from the walls. Water drips down the chimney of the old cold stone fireplace. A portrait hangs over the mantel of a kind of portly, wild-haired, wild-eyed old man in a white lab coat-looking thing. Save for a heavy cedar desk on one wall, the furniture that was in here is now worm-eaten and cracked.
Well, looks
Well,
like
on the
we're gonna
bright
have to-
side, we can do whatever we want with it.
I
Well,
mean,
since
if
the
we
desk
get-
is intact, I'll go check that out.
You find a single drawer that has been pulled open, and inside there's a small kind of needle-like apparatus that has had the needle bent.
So like a needle trap.
Correct.
What's that?
I'll look around to see if there's anything else.
Yeah, you guys might want to be careful. It looks like he was trapping some of his furniture.
They
Doesn't seem to
deactivate the
be
trap?
anything major else in this room. And yes, it does look like the trap is deactivated.
Well,
That's
clearly
what
the
they want
adventurers
you to
did their
think.
job. They didn't leave active traps, I hope.
Just be careful.
Fair enough.
That doesn't sound like us.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't
All
sound
right.
like you. I've been relatively careful.
I'm
Just don't let him get a hold of any doors.
look.
Who?
Ark. He has a problem with
Then
doors.
don't nail any doors to the walls for no reason.
Probably best the door was open when we got here. He'd break it down.
I mean, honestly, we would save a lot of money with me if we need to blow on a wall.
Alright, I'll head into the next room if this room's basically
Yeah.
empty.
Okay. That brings you into kind of a hallway with a few different doors. The first one direct across from what's essentially the parlor looks to be an old library.
Anything in the library?
Well, the room is filled with the musty smell of paper. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the crammed walls with books and scrolls of all shapes and sizes. Though you do see several books that have been opened and they're kind of contentious papers, with them laying on the ground, have just kind of crumbled to dust. There is
Everything else seemed to be in decent shape, though.
Do you pick one up?
Sure. I'll start looking around to see if there's anything.
Okay.
I
As you pick
I
up the
wanna-
books or scrolls, anytime that you open them, the old pages are just so worn that even trying to turn a page, it just shatters and flecks off onto the floor. Additionally, there are a pair of reading chairs that sit in the center of the room, and against one wall is another large desk.
I'll
I
go
wonder-
search the desk.
Go ahead.
Desk seems to be open, empty of contents.
All right. Then I'll go to the next room.
Yeah, we'll keep the journey going if there's nothing special here.
Okay. Finding your way into another room, you find a music room. There's a comfortable sitting chair, set of comfortable sitting chairs that line the walls, and a harpsichord that looks like it has been in decent repair, sitting centrally in the room. In one corner of the room also rests an antique grandfather clock that is still softly ticking, almost inaudible against any other noise in the room.
I go search this grandfather clock to see if there's anything there.
Okay. As you're walking over there, you do see odd kind of holes in the flooring that are about, say, 5 inches in diameter. And that's kind of pockmarked throughout the room.
Does it look like a battle happened here?
Definitely.
I think I noticed. I say, guys, stop. And I say, I think there might be a spike trap here. And
at hearing spike trap, Drawho jumps on a chair.
And I point out the holes on the floor.
Lucky for you, that chair seems to be sturdy enough and not terrible. It doesn't break apart.
I'm an elf. We're gentle on our feet.
Go ahead, Fenrir.
So the area.
What would it be for me to check if there is one?
It doesn't seem to be traps in the room, but looking through the holes, you can see just kind of an inordinate amount of what look to be skeletal or zombie-like hands that go from fingertip to about halfway through the forearm that are just lying under there.
Okay, that's not, slightly.
I mean, they said there was a bed here. So
I tap Ark, and I'm like, look down the hole.
I mean, yeah, they said there was a bed here. I mean, are the arms moving?
They are not.
Okay. Are they close enough that I can poke it with a javelin?
Oh, absolutely.
Do they move?
They do not.
It's fine.
All right, then
I mean, we'll have to get rid of them, but it's gonna smell.
We have mercenaries now.
Okay. Then I start.
Are they really mercenaries if you keep paying them though?
Well, I started the mercenary company. If we ever build them up strong enough, I can hire them out.
Anyway, Fenrir was gonna do a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start heading towards the desk again if that's not a problem down there. I just didn't want to share something.
There's no desk. There's a clock and a harpsichord.
That's my clock. Sorry.
Okay. The clock looks to be in good repair as well. It is ticking appropriately with time, and does tell the current time. It's about 9 a.m.
I assume this is like a normal grandfather clock. It has like the pendulum going under it, right?
Correct.
So I assume it has like a door down where the pendulum is.
Yep.
All right. First I want to check if there's any traps on it. Can I do that?
Yep. There does not seem to be any traps.
All right. Then I'm gonna open like the door to the pendulum cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to look inside to see if there's like anything stuffed like inside there.
It doesn't look to be. You see that pendulum swinging and 2 large chain weights that are just slowly ticking and moving as they should be.
What about that harp?
Is there like anything abnormal about it?
Not specifically, no.
All right.
Gonna have Kibble come with me and have him pluck the harp a few times. see if there's anything special to it. Since he knows how to play a harpsichord.
Sure. Yep.
Well, he knows how to play it.
Yep. He sits down and starts playing a tune. It's eerily tuned well.
Anything fishy with that, Kibble?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be trapped. It's just really well maintained.
Excellent. Good to know. This person only cared about time and music.
Just out of curiosity, what is the difference between a harpsichord and a harp?
So a harp is like a standing, you pluck and play it. A harpsichord is more like a piano.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I guess we're ready to go to the next room if nothing nefarious is here.
Okay.
I
You
would
find
like
your
to
way
open
into.
up the harpsichord and examine the inside of it.
Oh, sure. The harpsichord itself is exceptionally clean on the inside. You can see that it's been very well maintained. Overall, this is probably the nicest looking piece that you've seen since you've walked into the house.
Even nicer
Are
than
there fingerprints on the lacquer?
There are not.
I hope this dude was Phantom of the Opera when the Ventures came in. I really do.
So the harpsichord is even in the clock in the same room?
They are.
Okay.
I'm building a profile on the guy that used to live here. I think he was a necromancer.
I wonder if he liked baking.
Oh my god. Alright, next room, please.
All
So I
right.
can get away from the dad jokes.
Moving
Not
into
a dad
the
joke,
next
it's a
room.
reference.
That's a Bowman's joke.
You find that it was once an opulent dining hall. There's a great table that fills the center of the chamber. Broken plates and ruined settings still rest upon it. There's a number of kind
table seem to
of
be
dead
mostly
corpses laying all about the room. One being that of a giant, portly, kind of over-bloated zombie.
How long ago is it you said that this was taken care of? Did they just figure this stuff out a couple of days ago? Kill these
Actually,
people?
yeah, would I know when the rumors started up? Would say that.
The contract that you heard about was probably 2 days back.
Okay. So yeah, it was about 3 days ago, give or take.
The portly zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Does he happen to be wearing a lab coat looking thing?
He does not.
Okay.
Alright, Pedro,
Mhm.
I want to go up to the Parkley zombie thing.
Yep.
And poke it with my finger.
All right. It squishes, and you get a bit of ichor on you, and it seems to cause a chunk of it from the bottom to start seeping out this kind of black bile.
Don't touch it. They're already going to have to clean enough. Oh.
Alright. I'm just I was just seeing if I was alive or not.
So,
Yeah.
Draho, did you come by the papers for this property?
No. The property was a gift from Lady McIntyre. I've been hunting around for a while. She must have heard that I was looking for a house and decided to give it to me as a gesture
I'm sure
of
that's
goodwill.
why the courier boy specifically asked for me.
Well, yeah, you're like my manservant.
Keep telling yourself
that's
that.
While these guys are moving about the house, I am going to instruct the couple of mercenaries that came with us
Mhm.
to start taking the worst of the furniture and building a pyre so we have a place to deal with the bodies.
All right. They'll begin doing
Outside?
so.
Yes, outside. No, we're going to set the fire in the living room.
Well, I
mean,
know we wouldn't.
It's
but
a
I figured-
housewarming party. Oh my god.
But I figured I'd make sure to ask, knowing the mercenaries, they may just pile it in the Great Hall and leave it to torch.
That
Yeah,
is
they'll
very
take it
true.
outside.
We
No,
just
we're
got
gonna-
this house and we're already trying to collect the insurance.
Haven't
It's
insured it
Draho.
yet. I haven't insured it yet. We got to give it a couple months.
Who's gonna know?
Insurance. Yes, Two Flower.
Another man of culture.
Hi, son. Your cat doesn't seem to be too happy with you.
Well, I mean, it's a thing. Which one are we talking about?
The one that apparently just screamed at you.
Well, yeah. There are a number of them. They are all will eventually be appearing in this stream. Because cats.
Yeah.
So you say that, but mine stay upstairs.
Well,
My
you just
kitties
don't love your
welcome
cats. It's understandable.
Okay, so great dining room. How's the table look?
The table looks decent. It's solid oak, so it's preserved better than some of the rest of the rooms, but nowhere near as exquisite as the harpsichord.
Hey, all it's got to do is hold stuff up. Doesn't need to be
Is
fancy.
there anything else besides the table and the zombie, like the table chairs and the corpses in this room?
Just broken plates and kind of dishware.
Yeah, we can replace all that.
Make sure that we're whoever is moving a body checks to see if there's anything worthwhile on it before moving. You never know how thorough people are.
Bodies?
Nothing that you can find now.
I'm
All right,
assuming
then I'll help with the mercenaries moving the bodies to the pyre.
Okay.
Right.
What was that,
And we'll
Misaki?
continue the
I was going to say, I'm assuming the ones at the table were at meal when they expired.
Looks like they were kind of facing the door as you're entering.
So the door that we just came through, or
Correct.
okay.
I mean, they had time to be turned into zombies. So I guess there's more
I have to
doors.
say, though, seeing all this chaos, I'm kind of wondering if maybe we should clean up after ourselves when we do this stuff.
I mean,
You mean we
Last
create a
sentence.
zombie horde?
If someone
Lord
had
Draho,
purpose,
you have stumbled across a business that is unique, wonderful, and I think you would do well. You need to make an adventurer's cleaning service. A service adventurers can hire afterwards to clean up the messes they make.
just one of the other lovely services granted by the Continental.
It's like the service in John Wick.
That's
For
exactly
body?
what I was referencing.
Yeah, it's like exactly the service in John Wick, but for adventurers and D&D.
Dinner
Yeah.
party, how many? About 50. What? We were busy.
Some of them might be dragons.
All right, so
On to more
next
rooms,
row.
I'm assuming.
Okay. You find your way back through the hallway and then into what seems to have been once a kitchen. Several tall cabinets line the walls, most of which seem to be little more than junk piles, or have doors that have been broken open. And there's an obvious stench of wood rot that has taken hold in this room. Shattered dishes and broken glass litter the floor, and there's a large hearth filled with cold ashes that takes up most of one wall. Additionally,
So again,
in a
nothing
corner,
useful.
you see a hammer, a pick, a trowel, and a bucket filled with dried mortar.
Was somebody walling something up? Are there any freshly made walls?
Not that you can find in this room, no.
Is there a cask of Amontillado?
I was going to say, next we need to go to the wine
you
cellar
thirsty?
and listen for the jingle bells.
No, it looks like anything that was decent in this room has been cleared out.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a fixture upper. It's got a couple of flaws.
Yeah.
Someone got it.
So
Can't beat the price.
once we get done examining the main floor, are we going to go down or up?
I want to go down because undoubtedly downstairs is where all the nefarious stuff's going to be, and I'd rather get that out of the way now.
That does tend to be the case in most situations.
Perhaps we should make sure that we clear out the bodies behind us first.
Well, that's what the
That's
mercs are
what we're
doing.
doing as we do in the room.
I started to clean out those bodies already with the mercenaries.
Yeah, I brought 4 mercs with me, assumably, so we've got 5 people cleaning them out.
Just
It'll be
careful
done
you
soon.
don't get any of it in your fur. It'll take forever to get it out.
I don't have my fur out currently.
Oh, right. I forget. Mine's always out.
That's why I'm not allowed to go in public anymore.
So,
Bravo.
moving on to the next room.
Yes.
You find your way into a
sorry.
room that feels colder than all the others that you've been in. It's a large kind of glass ceiling, glass walled room. In the middle, though, there's a singular large tree that's kind of split down the middle, and centrally between those kind of two halves of the tree is this giant-sized, odd-looking creature. Its mouth is open in kind of a perpetual scream, and you can see inch-long kind of fangs just kind of razor-sharp throughout the mouth. It looks to be little more than a marble statue at this point, and it's covered in what seems to be either opened or closed eyes all over it. The remainder of the room seems to be filled with just kind of a variety of mostly dead or in the process of dying variety of plants. If you were in here during the dark, you'd think this would be just kind of some creepy jungle in Chult.
Yeah, I get that vibe.
The creature seems to be petrified, I imagine.
That's correct.
Divine sense.
You don't get anything.
Does the tree look like it might be at least a little alive?
The tree looks to be the only thing that's actually alive in the room.
I think we could still save the tree if we get that out of it.
Is the
I'll-
thing
I'll
stuck?
hire a gardener.
Is the
Pedro?
thing?
Go ahead, Misaki.
Is the thing that's wedged in the tree? Is the tree like growing around it, or does it look like it fell and split the tree?
Kind of neither. So while it's in the middle of the tree is fully around, giving it probably 5 to 6 inches on any particular direction. Almost as if this thing could walk between those spaces.
Okay.
Does anyone object to me just breaking it?
Pedro,
Go ahead.
well, I think by this time I should have been finished, like, dragging a couple bodies, so I head back to where they are.
Okay.
I don't mind you just breaking it. Just give us all a minute to prepare for combat.
I would say to the more book learned people. Do you have any idea what it is?
I
A
don't
number
know.
of things. It could be gross art. It could be a prison. It could be a gate.
I say we leave this up to Arcana.
Can I detect magic on it?
Does not seem to be any magic.
Hey, I rolled a 20 Arcana.
Uh,
Modified, obviously.
For Arcana, this seems to be some form of unliving construct at this point. Though you've never seen anything that's looked like this in any of the books that you've ever read.
It matches all the descriptions of an unliving construct. However, I've never seen one like this. Mithrander's libraries are quite extensive on freaky magical stuff.
Didn't you say the previous owner was of the necromantic art?
And
Yeah, he was a
for
necromancer seeking immortality from all the rumors.
those in
Good
Twitch,
old undead powwow.
That's what it looks like.
So, does anyone mind if I shatter this, or do you want me to leave it alone?
I would suggest we consult a druid before we break it.
We have a druid, don't we?
Not with us right now. He's back in town. He's been
Call the
missing for
druid.
a while.
He's
Oh, you
can come look at
appropriately
it.
using leverage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it is a vaguely humanoid something or other. Got it.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Yeah, I think we probably agree with him. Let's leave it alone and let a druid inspect it.
And it doesn't seem to be doing anything, so I'd just rather deal with this sooner so we could try to get the tree bound back to itself and get healing.
Yeah, like I really deal with it.
Yeah, let's get some more information about it first. So I guess we're just waiting for the.
It sounded like we could hire to come and look with it, even if it's just a.
Oh yeah, we can do hirelings for this.
So we just waiting for the potential zombies to be starting to burn.
Yeah, they should be burning by now.
Oh, okay.
Are there
Well,
any
I'm-
more rooms on
just-
this floor?
There are.
Next room it is.
All right. So coming into the next room, it looks almost like a temple or sanctuary area. There's a candle that sits lit in the middle of the room. There's furniture that has been kind of prepped and blocked towards the door but moved back. So there's like the bottom of a couch facing the door as you first come in, a pair of tables to either side of it, and like a bed pushed up against the couch.
What color's the candle?
A brilliant white. And as you step into the room, you get this overwhelming sense of protection and goodness.
I would like to actually go to the candle and just wave my hand over it enough to feel if it's hot.
It doesn't seem to have any actual heat to it. It's just emitting light.
Okay, that's Ark appreciates the trick, the magic to that.
Arcana, what's that doing?
Go for
So, can I get advantage?
it. Not so much.
Okay.
With that roll, you would think that it's definitely producing some form of effect in the room, but you're not quite sure what.
Well, considering I feel
Candle
safe
itself.
here, I'm going to assume it's a safety from the undead.
The
Potentially.
candle itself is the thing producing that.
Correct.
For all we
I can
know,
say right
that
where it is. Then.
I put out the suggestion that maybe that candle is what's keeping that thing in the tree trapped.
That's also possible. So we're in agreement. We don't disturb that until we learn more.
Yep,
No, the
I
candle
agree.
should probably stay lit.
Can
Um,
we see
what
any?
is-
Can we see any iconography, like holy symbols or anything along the walls or depictions of things, tapestries?
There are some odd kind of profane snake god symbols.
Oh, we're gonna get rid of those.
do we even want to know which ones they are before we tear them down?
I think we should at least know what this guy was doing.
This
Just
guy
in
was
case
worshiping.
something happens later.
All right, religion roll.
Okay.
I can do the same.
You're rolling
Not
like
with
me.
that.
Oh,
This reminds
I
me of
get-
last week.
What'd you get, Fenrir?
I got a 2.
Okay. So as you guys look closely, they seem to be definitely some form of religious symbol, but they're
13.
marred enough that you can't quite tell what they are.
13.
Same.
Okay.
How about history?
This wouldn't be really a history option.
Okay. Well, I
Arcana
don't
by any
do-
chance?
Don't do religion, so.
And nope on Arcana.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, yeah, I'm not trained in religion, but I get a +4 to it.
Okay, so we're going to be bringing in a few scholars.
Yeah. I feel like
I mean,
we need to
I'm
get-
already feeling like we should make a visit to the Mages Guild after this and collect someone.
Also, HGTV.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the last few rooms on this floor looks to be a old, immaculately kept servants' quarters. There are 6 corpses on the ground of what look to be large humanoid frog-like creatures.
I yelled down the hall towards the mercenaries to say, we got
Which
more
look like
baddies down
that.
here.
Oh, they're gonna hate us by the end of the day.
Yeah, but that's what you pay them for, isn't it?
That is true, and I actually pay them pretty decent.
I think today
She
might
can't
be
pay
deserving of a
Kibble.
bonus.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna get a bonus for their work today.
And the only major difference between the picture and what these actually look like is that large pustule kind of sac on the back of their head is exploded out. And you can see kind
Okay.
of acid and blood splatters all over the walls and floor.
Oh,
Gotcha.
So, like, they're pitted.
Like they were in a combat, and towards the end of the combat, that destroyed for some reason, and just
No.
shattered out.
Okay, but you said that the what was sprayed out under the walls and whatnot is the stone pitted.
It is not.
Okay.
note to self: if we hit them there, it's acid. Be
We're
prepared.
learning as we go.
Nukes aside from the only way to be sure.
So keep going in the room. See what else is in there.
All right. Beyond this, you have stairs up and stairs down.
Going down.
Okay.
And we've gone through every room on this ground floor.
Correct.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So
We'll do our typical marching order, which means Art first.
okay. Heading down, you find yourself into what looks to be an old storeroom. There's the bodies of 4 giant, and by giant I mean dire-sized rats. Flesh hanging off them. Potentially they were undead at one point. And just a huge amount of fire crispy burned just rats strewn all over the floor.
I yell up at
That's a bit
the
of a waste.
guys upstairs. We got more bodies down here for you too.
And
I'm
then
gonna have to tip them well.
off from this area, there seems to be one other kind of basement space.
All right, I go to the door of the basement space, I guess.
Okay.
And
From there, you can see kind of stairs that are covered in dust, and the entire passage is less than fully choked with cobwebs, almost enough for space of kind of a single file line that might have gone through here once before.
Okay, does it look like that has been traveled recently, like in the last day or so, or within the last few days?
Probably within the last few days, and you can see the footprints going down the stairs, as well as
All right,
coming back up.
I take out my short sword and I start like hacking at the cobwebs
Okay.
while I head.
We're not called arachnophobia for nothing.
I'll go ahead and send the owl down in front of us just to kind of see if it sees anything.
Okay.
Kidro,
Yep.
before going down, examining the walls on this part of the cellar, just walk the circuit of the walls.
Yep. So within that particular storeroom, there doesn't seem to be anything kind of amiss.
Okay.
Going down, though, the basement itself is also full of old cobwebs. Almost hidden within them is what looks to be an ancient laboratory. There's a large wooden table that fills the center of the room. On it are dirty flasks, rusty knives, a large shelf filled with jars, beakers, candles, and bones hangs on one wall.
Be very careful touching anything.
Towards the north end of the room, you can see what looks to be a opened kind of secret passage that is kind of encrusted in broken mortar.
So that's the answer for the stuff we saw upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I go towards like the cabinet that has all the stuff on it
Mm-hmm.
and see if the labels say what's in any of those.
They're so old you can't read any of them.
Yep, I say we let a mage look at this when we pick one up. I'm 100% convinced we need to get us a mage guild mage in here to inspect everything.
We'll hire
Especially the
someone
lab.
to do more than us.
Yeah, especially the lab.
And that mortar looks fairly fresh. Or
Rather old, but the broken pieces look like they were broken recently.
Okay, so someone
Like
did
very
try
sharp.
so someone did try to clear this out and just gave up.
No, more of a they were able to get the door open, and so the broken pieces aren't dusty; they're just on the floor.
Gotcha. Seeing that, I'm gonna just kind of push Fenrir behind me and push the secret door open or pull it, whichever way it seems to go.
It's a push. So the door creaks loudly as it swings, and inside the long, narrow room, there's a kind of dirt floor, in the middle of which there's an oversized sarcophagus that the top four has been flung up against one wall. There are bronze braziers that rest against each corner, and along various portions of the wall, there are, first off, 8 niches. Each one contains a skeleton shackled to the wall with rusty chains. And likewise, within each niche, there's a set of kind of magical symbols carved into the wall. Lastly, there are 2 massive corpses. One... Get this set up correctly. Dude.
Getting the picture.
Come on. Get over there. Looks like that.
I don't have it.
Taking a second.
Ew.
Give it
Oh,
a second.
no.
Ugh.
That's nasty.
Yep, just
That's
a
just
giant
nasty.
tentacly on the right side of it thing that has been kind of cut open, lays bleeding. Most of that mass has actually been separated from an internal skeletal piece that lays a few feet away from it. And within kind of the breastplate of that skeleton, you can see fragments of sapphire.
Again, I think we shouldn't touch it.
Yeah, we don't touch anything in this room until someone tells us what is in there.
I'm gonna go ahead
Shattered
and
sapphire, similar to the last run-in we had with something.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. I shot its heart open. Didn't have a
And
gem in it.
this is
Oh,
what the second one
Divine
looks
sense.
Oh, that is arguably worse.
like. Nothing's pulling up on the divine sense. Everything seems to be dead.
Is that a 3-headed Etten?
Something like that, like
With-
a large zombie-ish thing. Its mouth is agape sideways with kind of that razor-sharp option, tongue lolling out with a serpent end to it. And around the midsection, which has been kind of slashed open as well, you see the small forms of babies or toddlers that their lifeless eyes and arms look like at one point they were reaching out, screaming, hoping for help.
Jeez.
22 to Arcana the magic symbols on the wall.
They seem to be something that would connect to the taking of life and giving it to whatever was in that sarcophagus.
So I take it the skeletons against the wall are all dead that are chained up?
Very much so.
Well, my assumption is whoever was chained people here, drained their life to keep themselves alive in the sarcophagus, necromancer, and they've just rotted away on the wall.
There is no indication of undead life here.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody can identify that without having to poke them.
Is the sarcophagus open or closed?
Open. The top of it is kind of crashed into one wall, which is kind of bent in and broken due to that.
Oh.
Is there anything inside the sarcophagus?
There is not.
What about the lining of the sarcophagus?
Is kind of a mixture of dirt and old flesh.
Oh, I was hoping there'd be some sort of nice velvet or something I could cut open and find his secret stash. Hoping that other adventurers were not good enough at looting. But okay, yeah, so nothing's there.
Ark, not being particular, his culture doesn't necessarily revere the gods so much as the spirits of ancestors, though they acknowledge the gods. we're going to need someone to cleanse this place. Even if the horrible things that have been done here are done, that type of evil lingers.
Yeah, we might want to stop by the temple too on our way to the Mage Guild.
Doesn't our cleric perform the cleansing ritual or whatever?
If they want, but I'm not going to pawn it off on them if we can pawn it off on a lackey.
I would have to look at the book, but I'm not sure if Masaki's high enough to consecrate an area.
I'm currently looking.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to renovate the room with all the snake stuff into a proper temple to your god. I think that would be much nicer than the snake cult. Yeah, if you can, I mean, we can always find a priest at the local temples to cleanse it.
Well, I can sanctify, but I think we want something a little bit more potent than sanctify.
Well, really what I want is to find the writings of the former owner of the place, to find out exactly what they were doing.
Most likely the adventurers took it with them so it wouldn't fall into the hands of someone else. Unless they're just only came here for loot and were incompetent, worse than we think they are.
No, they tore through it pretty good. I'd hope.
I was going to say, given what they've left behind, I don't think they were as incompetent as I first thought.
Because it makes me wonder if this person was working as much with undeath or if they were trying to create golems.
From the rumors I heard from the other nobles, apparently his goal was very straightforward. He wanted immortality. So, assumably, everything here was a failed attempt at immortality.
Ark looking around and hearing all that, it's like death would be preferable.
Yeah. Some people crave to live long lifetimes. They don't realize how boring it can get.
I'm not sure boring is the operative word here.
Do you know, have you ever talked to a 3,000-year-old elf? Nobody will suck the fun out of a room faster than a 3,000-year-old elf.
Well, then I hope you don't.
How
live
old
that
are you
long.
now?
You already sucked the fun out of most rooms.
Well, I got it like 2,800 years to go. 700. Yeah, 700. So yeah, immortality isn't all it's cracked up to be.
We'll find some solution to just...
We will probably have to have a local.
Personally, I'd rather bring in an entire squad of clerics to just sweep this place with holiness, instead of leaving it all on one person to do themselves.
You do understand how valuable an actual priest's time is and how much money it would cost to do that.
Yeah, I've got some money in the bank.
Considering
It
you
might
couldn't.
be cheaper to
more
just
than that.
burn this place to the ground and rebuild it.
Heck no, it wouldn't be cheaper.
You'd be surprised.
Plus, I mean, we do have a reputation. I'm sure we can get a discount.
Much of this mess I know we can clean up ourselves.
Yeah, it's
We
mostly
need to find out
consecrating
exactly
the ground.
what the... We don't need to consecrate the ground. The ground itself hasn't been cursed in any way, or I would feel it.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then yeah, we just need a mage in here to identify all the various things and whether
We
can
need
take
to
them out.
identify the things we don't understand, so we don't create an issue.
Ruin our new house.
Well, in the meantime, let's...
Move along.
Is this all that was down here? Were there any other
Yeah.
offshoots?
Nope, that's the entire basement space.
All right, back
Upstairs.
upstairs.
All right. Heading upstairs, you find that there are functionally about 10 bedrooms, some larger, some smaller. The only one that is of any real kind of note, as you walk into the air, much like in that kind of greenhouse, is also colder in this section. That one, the bedroom looks to have once belonged to a lady of taste. The furnishings show a lady's touch. The room seems to have weathered better than other parts of the house as well. There's a small writing desk along one wall, a bed, a nightstand behind it, and on the nightstand is a picture frame covered in dust and kind of grime that clings to it. But you can see that a wiping smear has been wiped away of that grime. The picture itself, you can see, is the countenance of a beautiful woman with raven black hair.
Oh, does she look? What's her race? Does she look human?
Human, yes.
Okay. Does it have a name attached to it?
Not that you can see.
History. Would I happen to recognize her based on who owned this house before her?
Go ahead.
That'd be a 26.
So you don't think that it actually has to deal with who owned the house before, but stories of Heinrich's love, Arabelle.
Yeah, and I'm guessing there's a tragic story behind that.
They both seem to have died in the house at some point about 100 years ago, and it was never reclaimed by anyone else.
That is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very telling of why he might. No, that isn't. Why would he want to be immortal if he lost the person he loved? That's stupid. He's stupid. I'm glad he died.
I love how that's what makes you glad he died.
Well, obviously the rest of it was bad, but I mean, what was the goal? Unless he was trying to bring her back, in which case, glad he died.
Okay, so all the other rooms are basically just one size or another?
Yep. With a master room, a couple bathrooms.
Okay. Well, I guess at some point we'll just stake our claims and tell them how they want it done up.
Empty all the rooms of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well clean everything out.
I think we should leave the
Start
harpsichord and the clock because they're in such good condition.
Oh yeah, well, we can keep those. Those are, and the grand table in the dining room, that can be salvage.
Yeah, but everything else I think we should just strip and refurnish. Coincidentally, expecting I would be able to find a house to buy, I invested in an architecture company, so we might get a discount on furniture. I was fully prepared to buy a house and have to renovate it, so I invested.
That's Jaho's real revenge against the DM, making discounts.
So yeah, we can get that set up too. We can have everything done, when we go to grab the mage to come back and check our property. Tell us what can and cannot be messed with.
And before we do that, we're going to need to formally have the deed officiated, however that works.
So we've got to stop by Lady McIntyre and speak to her about that.
Out of character. Oh, she just found another excuse to have me come by.
So okay, if that's it for the house, I think we should have leave the 4 guards here. I'm gonna basically have them guard the property. Don't let anyone in or out.
Okay.
You hear anything shuffling or moaning in there, you don't go in until it comes outside the house, and then you stab it until it stops moving. And
Can
you
do.
burn it and
Can do,
stab
sir.
it some more. All right, and I'll let the captain know what you guys are doing up here, and when we come back later with the rest of the crew, I'll send them up here with a little extra bonus for you guys since you had to do the dirty work.
You see a couple of them in the back kind of high-five each other.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to do it right now. I'm going to hand each of them a platinum piece per person.
Okay.
And then I am going to, let me take that out of my inventory. And then I am going to tell them, and next time you're in town at the Swords Lounge, tell the barkeep anything you want to drink on me.
All right, we'll do.
So it's 4 of them, so that brings me down by 4.
And
So
they shuffle off to continue cleaning the house for you.
excellent. And of course, we told them what stuff not to touch till we come back.
Yep.
The eyeball thing and all. Okay. So yeah, I think first things first, we should get the deed, then head to the Mage Guild, and then go see about getting refurnished at the Architect,
Okay.
as well as some minor repair work. All right, so I guess we're heading to Lady McIntyre's.
All right. You show up at the McIntyre Villa. Before we go, anything else?
No. I'm assuming I have gathered all of my things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have nothing.
Alrighty. So off at the McIntyre Villa, you're led up by the abnormally large Goliath. The lady is in. She's welcome, waiting to see you.
Thank you very much, as always.
Well, I'm going to let Art take the lead since he has the connection.
I was going to take the lead because I've spent the most time out of anyone here. So, I come in.
Okay. You can see her off in the training room where you find her more often than not. She seems to be doing some form of sword play with a dummy.
Hey, that's what she does with me. Anyway. I'm surprised no one took that before I did. And I just kind of, hello.
Oh, hello, Art. And Arachnophobia. I assume you came because of the house that I purchased for you.
Yes, it's, well, we're going to need to put some work into it, but we are very grateful.
Oh, you're very welcome. And she takes off her helmet, sets it on an arming stand, sets her sword down.
I see you're keeping up the training. That's good.
Oh, yes. One must train to learn how to do things better, yes.
Very true.
So, what can we do for you?
Well, according to them, because this is not really a thing I'm used to, we need a thing called a deed.
Oh, yes, the paperwork. She wanders over to a table, rolls up the top of it, pulls out a paper, stamps it, and brings it over to you.
Draho will grab it and inspect it. I assume there's nothing fishy about it, but I'm checking anyways.
Doesn't seem to be any problem with it. It's fully transferred, annotates that it's being transferred to Arachnophobia.
See, that's a problem. We aren't an official organization yet. We're just a loose band of adventurers. Will this hold up if a court inspects it?
Oh, I'm sure. There's only 6 of you. It shouldn't be problematic.
I'm sure there's a way to have us all specifically mentioned by name.
Yeah, I'll go get it handled at the court's records. Make sure we're all named in it. I got to go there and do some paperwork anyways.
Again, thank you, Lady McIntyre. Most generous of you.
Oh, of course. You've been so helpful.
Well, that we do try. I couldn't help but notice that you keep putting perfume on everything.
Oh, and it just kind of rubs off on most things.
Well, it smells lovely.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I try.
Draho's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, okay, let's go. We've got a lot of stops to make today. Thank you, Lady McIntyre. We appreciate your gift, and we will treat the house well and take care of it.
Wonderful. And again, welcome to Ravens Bluff.
Yes, thank you. And I'm going to start gently pushing Ark out the door.
And we're still on for more training sessions, right?
Oh, of course. Anytime.
He might
you're
be
ready.
busy. I'm going to push him the rest of the way out the door.
Draho, why are you always like this?
Never mind.
I look over at Lady McIntyre and I'm like, I'm sorry for the both of them. They're idiots.
Oh, that happens.
What did I do?
Nothing. It's what you might do that worries me.
As they are filing out, as she is being addressed as lady, I assume she is a noble, so I will bow before leaving.
And she curtsies.
Oh yeah, that's Misaki.
Yeah, so next we should head over to the Mages Guild and get us a mage to do his mage stuff.
All right. What specifically are you looking to have them do?
Well, I want to stop by the Mages Guild and I want them to send some investigators, preferably proficient with necromancy or necromantic rituals. I'd like an investigation team to check the house up on the hill. Given the details, they've probably heard the rumors.
Okay. You're brought into kind of an office. Behind the desk is what looks to be a half-orc in robes. So,
Black robes?
bluish.
Oh, man, I was hoping he was a necromancer half-orc.
Really, he doesn't look bluish.
So, well, we can certainly do that for you. That sort of thing would be fairly costly to send a team out. We're talking to the tune of about 100 gold pieces an hour.
That's quite pricey.
That it is. How big is the house?
Assumably the plans are on the deed, like they have the plans with it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out the plans and show them the layout of the house.
All right.
This is what you're looking at.
He starts looking it over. Any unmarked rooms that aren't on here?
None that we were aware of.
I flip through the looking for layout schematics for what would be the basement or the sub-level.
Yep, there you'd find that that extra mortared space is not on there.
Yeah, I will point. There's a stairwell leading to another room here.
Okay. So given the size of the room, probably take about 10 hours to get done.
The whole house?
Correct.
So 1,000 gold. Okay, yeah. That's good.
I pulled Draho aside for a second. You know, it might cut down on time if someone were to draw the symbols we saw and just present them to them here.
Well, I want them to go through the entire house top to bottom and find anything arcane that could be dangerous.
Okay, that's fair. We'll work out how much everyone's contributing to that.
Yeah, I'll agree to the 1,000. If no one else wants to chip in, I'll cover it. I've got the gold in the bank.
No, it's we're all living there, so I'll pitch in.
Okay.
Well, those how many of us?
Currently, there would be, what is it? 2, 3, 4. Looks like 6 of us.
We got
7 in
6
the room.
7 in the room. Yeah, well, Kibble's not being charged.
Well, we also have Russell, and we have
Ronmi.
Romney. So
And from time to time, Froscar.
yes,
That's
So-
what? Like,
10.
so it'd be 100 gold apiece? Yeah.
Oh.
That seems
That's-
good. 100 gold's reasonable.
Are there
How
enough?
many total rooms are actually in this joint?
Thank you, Kaizen. I was just about to flip back and look
for-
at that too.
For bedrooms, 10 plus servant quarters, that's sanctuary, and then the other odd rooms. Seems almost
I see.
fitting.
Almost as if it was preordained to be all else.
Really?
Okay, so yeah, if it'd only take them 10 hours to do the search, I think 100 apiece is fair.
All right, so he pulls out a contract, sets it down in front of you.
Okay, do you want the gold now, or do you take payment after the work's done?
Half up front as a retainer, half after. We'll schedule this for, let's take a quick look at the calendar. The 26th of Alint.
That's how many days away? Like 3, right?
4 or 5.
Okay. Perfectly fine, and I'll sign the paperwork confirming. I'll hand over 100, and anyone else wants to hand over 100 to start the first 500.
I'll pitch in my 100.
I'll drop 10 platinum.
Okay.
Fancy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We still need one other 100.
I will give 1,000 silver.
10,000 copper.
I was just about to say, next somebody's handing out copper, just
Some
like
poor
the old people with a penny jar.
some poor first-year magic students spending hours counting that. And then just to have their next lesson be, okay, so there's this little spell for counting money. You just flick your wrist and it all stacks.
Yeah.
Then he gets to learn transmutation.
But then after that, I'm going to mention to him, by the way, do you have any artificers that happen to be looking for work right now?
Not directly, but we do take commission.
How much would it cost to have an artificer basically hire out an artificer to work for me?
It depends on how experienced you want.
What's it cost to get someone out of school?
Our lowest level artificers, journeyman, would run you about 5 gold a day.
Are you about to offer to pay them with exposure?
What? No. Draw understands that people need money to live. 5 gold a day. Okay, that seems reasonable. Could you put together a list of artificers for me and their credentials that fall within that price range?
Oh, of course.
Also, could you get some headshots? No,
Oh my goodness.
I really appreciate that. I'll be back to pick that up some other time. We've got more errands to run today. Give you time to put the work together.
All right.
Question for you before we go.
Certainly.
Where might I find someone who's more practiced in nature magics?
Well, probably any number of the druid temples. Shantea for one.
Okay.
So, well, we appreciate you. I give him his copy of the contract. I'll take my copy, put it in with my other paperwork in my case.
All right. Once this is all said and done, we'll go ahead and contact you out, and I should have those names put together by then.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, and I bow and leave.
He kind of nods awkwardly.
I show respect to the wizards, man. Turn you into a frog, quick as that.
I got better.
Wait till I learn polymorph, Draho.
So that was that.
Why does this
next
parrot seem like it's really pompous and wants to tell us about its lineage?
Only thing that he manages to retain is his scroll of pedigree in his mouth.
Also, why is it vaguely blue?
Next, we need to go talk to the architect about furnishing our new home.
All right. So, off to Aaron's Architecture.
Yes, is that the name of the company I have ownership in?
That's right.
All right.
I think it's canon that Draho actually forgot the name of it.
Aaron's like Aaron?
That's right.
Okay. Aaron's architectural design.
All right.
I
So
think that's
going
the
in there,
first place I actually have a name of the company. Others I just have list.
It's a fairly simplistic looking building. As you walk in, you see him sitting behind kind of a drawing desk, and he's just drawing away. Lots of pencils, protractors, rulers, T-rulers, etc.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to him, produce my medallion that gives me my discounts.
Ah, yes. The disc count. How can I help you today, sir?
I change this. Yes. Oh, I'm so mad. Yes, we need. It's a medallion, by the way, not a disc. Anyways, we need some furniture for a new house.
He gives you a really odd, kind of quizzical look.
I'll look at Draho too, because I remember him saying in architecture.
Yeah, Architects, they have access. They know. They build and they know how to furnish places.
I think what you're looking for is a carpenter.
Do you actually know what architecture people do?
Yeah, they architect.
Looks like we lost somebody.
Yeah, he just sent in Discord. He had to bow out. Something came up.
Ah, okay. That was Fenrir, I'd assume?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see about getting this reset.
Well, if we need a wood shop, I also have a wood shop.
Well, we still will need to talk to the architect because there's some structural damage that needs to
Oh
be
yeah, that's the reason I came here. The structural damage. I don't know why. I guess I forgot the structural damage. I'm just like, I got a place that can do stuff. I'm just so excited to use my new investment.
You see, I mean, you did get rather distracted with getting me out of Lady McIntyre's place. You seem to be very focused on that.
So, Lord Draho, you were inquiring then of having him to come inspect the building?
Yeah, basically give it a once over, make sure everything's safe and structural so we don't, have a wall fall down in the middle of the night and crush us, and do any repair work that needs done.
Oh, well, I can certainly do that. I can quote you about 5 gold an hour with your disc count. Beyond that,
You keep saying it, buddy.
if there's anything specific, I'll certainly bring it to your attention as soon as I know of it.
Yeah, if you can put together a formal quote, let us know how many hours you put into the quote, etc.
Oh, of course.
Because I assume you're going to have to price it after you see the property.
Correct.
We do have, and I'm going to show them the schematics. I do have the schematics here, if that helps any.
Oh, yes, that will be paramount.
Okay. Would you like to make a copy of them and return the originals, or?
Oh, no need. Eidetic memory.
Oh, excellent. Well, get a good look. Let me know when you're done.
And it
Lord
takes
Draho,
a
as
bit.
he's examining these, how big were the grounds that this mansion was on?
If you look at since you looked at the paperwork, basically you have roughly an acre, maybe acre and a half.
Were there any outbuildings or just the mansion?
Just the mansion, though while you rolled up there, you did notice that there had once been kind of a stables, but it's collapsed in on itself.
We'll want to have that rebuilt.
Yeah.
Oh, we can certainly draw up some plans. But would you like new design or something similar to what was there before?
Ark seems to have a fascination for horses. What do you think, Ark?
Stables? Yeah.
Good contribution, Ark.
Sorry, I was just looking up something, if this is going to continue to be a running joke. I'm just saying that, technically speaking, Count would be a pretty high station for a noble.
Yeah, so...
Your silence makes me think you're debating whether you want to accept it.
I just assume it's like after you count the money, take a portion out for the disc. If we're going to keep that going.
Coins are discs, mostly.
It's going to annoy me that it's going to become a thing, but...
I call it, there's going to come a time when there are going to be people parading in the streets with small discs propped up on rods going, all hail the disc count.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord
it effectively
Draho.
makes you an earl, which that's a pretty high station as far as nobles go.
I'm already higher than that.
Are you sure?
Yeah. My rank is pretty high. I just don't have access to the wealth or power. Nice thing about playing a noble in D&D, you just got to have a reason not to have your family support, and you can be a freaking king. I mean, but
Anyway,
yeah,
yes,
get that done. So once he drafts us a quote, I'm going to give him my name and my room at the Sword Lounge, because I assume we're not staying in the house till it's been checked over and cleaned.
Okay. He goes ahead and sets you up with kind of a minor writ of his paperwork of being able to do so.
Excellent. And I'll keep, since he doesn't have an official quote yet, I'll put this back, have him get me the copy whenever available.
All right.
And next, I guess we're going to talk to my woodworker.
Okay.
Feng Shui.
It's great that I have so many businesses I've dipped into.
This is the payoff.
So then you head over to Willie's Woodworking.
Let me put that name in, Willie's Woodworking. Can I just name the rest of them since I seem to notice a trend with the names?
You can if you want.
The alliteration.
Okay. So Timmy the Tailor, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Him, the Toolman Taylor.
You know it.
Ruh, ruh, ruh.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll name them all then.
Is his apprentice named L?
I never named them because I didn't think that would be important, but they're actually becoming so useful that
I mean, to be fair, Draho wouldn't care as long as they do their job.
That's true. So, yeah, I guess we're going to Willie's Woodworking.
Okay. You get there and, hey, what can I do for you?
Show him the disc.
Oh,
give up
the
on it.
the count of discs. How can I help you?
Yes. So,
It's your own fault.
yeah. Why do I make good puns against my will?
How do you feel about that, Will?
I mean, buy me a drink first.
Ah, y'all stop. So I'm going to address that. We recently acquired a new house, and we need to see about furnishing it.
Oh, we can definitely do that. What specifically are you looking for?
Well, we pretty much stripped it of everything but the harpsichord and the clock. So we're basically going to need beds in the rooms, dressers, or wardrobes, I guess they'd be called. Wardrobes. We're going to need some furniture amongst the house, living rooms. I'm pretty sure there's a temple once it gets purified and it's no longer got the snake thing going on. We might need some pews.
Well, we can definitely do that. Do you want us to send over an interior designer and take a full look, give you a real rundown quote of what all could be appropriately done in a room?
Yes, please. That would be great if you could send a designer over.
Oh, great. Yes, we can certainly do that. Do you have a preferred color palette?
Yes, we do. You see this cloak, this garb, pretty much everything I'm wearing.
Oh, yes, that's a very pretty royal blue.
Yes, that with gold trim.
No.
Not for every room.
Fine, then just the master bedroom, or my bedroom as I'm calling
I
it.
respect your need to do the ASMR for the elf guy, but not in my room.
Okay, so just my room in these colors. I guess your interior designer can speak with everyone about what they would like in their personal rooms. But throughout the house, let's stick with neutral colors that are very royal and respectable.
Just have to say, if you guys didn't already all have inspiration, there'd be some going out right there.
Inspiration for collectively saying no.
It took this long for you guys to tell me to stop putting my colors on everything.
But sure.
Because you need to put it on our everything.
We'll go ahead and send our interior designer over to take a look at it. Is there a preferred day?
Whenever's available. We've got several contractors will be in and out through the next week, so...
Wonderful. I'll go ahead and get her set up with that, and as soon as she gets back, we'll where would be best to reach you at, since obviously you're not living there.
Sword, what's it called? The Sword
Tables Lounge, Draho.
Sword Tables Lounge, correct. Thank you.
Oh,
the Sword Tables Lounge. Send the bill directly to me, Lord Drahoslava von Reichlmir III. All of us will be staying there, so if the interior designer wants to speak with anyone about their own personal rooms, I have the master bedroom, of course. Make sure they know that. With any of their personal rooms, they can meet them there.
All right. Can do. Expect to see her along fairly shortly.
Kiddo,
Excellent.
did he
Thank you very much.
have sample books or anything like that?
Oh,
floating
absolutely. Basically, their version of a sample book is a bunch of sticks of wood with various different colors shaded to them.
Oh, I'm sure the interior designer is going to bring a giant catalog of stuff for you to look at.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be.
What is it?
I was looking more like sketches or drawings of pieces that they've done?
Oh, absolutely. Variety of different types and styles of furniture, anywhere from Sword Coast all the way to the jungles of Chult in the south, as far east as you come from, and even some things from Icewind Dale.
Okay.
Miss Dranner will be fine.
Ooh,
For my room, I don't care what anyone else does.
All right.
There's
You
layers
see him
to that.
take
That'll
a
be-
small book off the shelf that's labeled From the Ruins.
What? Can I read that? What? Why does that? Why is the Ruins book the one for Miss Dranner?
Oh, it's just what they call it. It's an appropriate style these days.
Can I look at that book?
Of course.
I'm going to
Within
flip
it is
the
just
book
a variety of various different old elven style, beds, dressers, etc. Most of which
Crumbling walls.
labeled originally out of print, but capable of being reconstructed.
Out of print? Miss Dranner never goes out of print. We have people dedicated to maintaining these books. What are your credentials?
They never go out
Well,
of
we served with the Journeyman's Guild for almost 20 years now, and have been doing this professionally for another 10 years past that.
So you've got the qualifications for a human. I guess yes. Go
So,
with the
I
most
shake my
modern
head.
Myth Dranner style.
All right.
My question is,
Can
why
do.
can't you go back to the original source and obtain a new copy?
Clearly, it's hard to get someone to Myth Dranner nowadays. It's probably some taxation problem. The king's always having trouble with taxes.
well, many more problems.
So it seems to be a running theme with people from Mithranor.
Is that why Drahu always makes himself broke?
I don't see why you wouldn't have an up-to-date book. Clearly get a hold of an up-to-date book if you can. But if not, I guess the traditional style worked, something from around my grandpa's age. So maybe 6,000, 7,000 years ago, if possible.
Oh, definitely. That is absolutely in that book.
Yeah, I see. It ended not too long ago either, so you definitely need to update. We update every year.
As soon as I can get a new book, I absolutely will.
I love
Thank you.
how to the rest of us that would be considered an ancient civilization. To Draho, that's just like retro chic.
Yeah, elves are weird like that.
They're weird like a lot of things.
Alrighty. Any other places that you guys need to stop, or are you heading back to the inn for dinner?
I wanted to actually stop by the Druid Temple.
Okay.
Yes, we should stop by
I
there
wish
too.
to go with him.
All right.
Yeah, keep the
so
party moving, man. We're having a party.
You guys head to the Temple District. The Temple of Shantea is kind of a beautiful white marbled granite, set up on kind of a multi-tiered ring. There are various different kind of boxes for plants, be it flowers, bushes, etc. It's just a massive kind of overgrown garden with a temple kind of dome in the middle that's erected on a variety of pillars. Central to that dome is a massive ancient tree, from which throughout the height of it, which is a good 50 to 60 feet tall, you see the branches splay out just as long as the tree is tall. Heavily weighed down by what look like oranges, but with odd little flowers on each orange. A variety of clergy are kind of milling about. You see people praying, various gardeners going around tending to the crops.
Interesting.
I try to see someone who isn't necessarily in the middle of something.
You see one of the clergymen that's just kind of standing back up against one of the pillars.
Pardon me.
Yeah, what can we do for you?
Well met. My name is Ark.
Hail, friends, well met.
Who came with me, Kazan?
Yes.
I mean, unless anyone specified otherwise, I think the party just kept rolling after the woodworker.
These are all of my my companions, and I introduce everyone. We recently came into possession of a house, though there are certain things that need to be done to it to make it livable. My concern, though, is that the land surrounding it has been barren.
Well, that does happen.
I was wondering if someone of your temple might be able to help restore the vegetation of the land.
That's a pretty big ask, but we could certainly try. And kind of from underneath one arm, he holds out a cup, and you hear a jingling.
Oh, it pulls on a what?
A cup, and you hear a jingling as he shakes it back and forth.
I put 2 platinum in.
Okay. He looks in it. It's a really big ask. Jingles it again.
I pull out a bag.
Okay.
Your cup is insufficient.
He holds his hand out.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a mix of coin in there, including 100 plat, and let me actually get to my character sheet. Yeah, 100 plat, and 1,000 gold pieces.
So he opens up the bag, and you see him pour it into the cup, and it still jingles like there's only 2 coins in there. He's like, that will do. We can send someone over within the next couple days. We do have a bit of a cleansing going on here, as we're getting ready for the upcoming celebrations for the Feast of the Harvest Moon that'll be coming up at the end of the quarter.
Yes. Also, I look at Draho after that big bag of money was just handed over. I'm like, is that how it feels?
Huh? Well, yeah, of course.
I'm so sorry.
Every time.
Is that sufficient to arrange for at least the start of an arboretum?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, out of character and metagaming, I was just hoping for the casting of a plant growth spell. But like
now there will be several.
The long okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now there will be proper.
And being
whoever's done that.
Draho, I will have him write up a contract for what we paid and what's expected.
Okay.
So
No, you won't.
I gotta
paid.
get it in writing.
We didn't pay. I paid.
Okay, well, you want to make sure
I
that
gave
work
him
gets
the
done
money in
correctly.
good faith. I fervently believe that a person who represents the will of a nature goddess will do right by restoring the land. Are you
Okay.
really going to insult them?
Okay, if you think
Now
they can be
get out of the
trusted.
temple.
Okay.
Wasn't there an indoor garden?
There was.
There was a greenhouse, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that covers the greenhouse too.
Oh, most definitely.
All right.
Now, I have an odd question. Is it possible to plant a tree like that one? Would it even grow?
It would. This particular type of tree will grow in just about any condition, though does take inordinate amounts of time to grow.
I would imagine. As I look up at its sheer size.
Now, feasibly, we can, if you'd like, plant one of its seeds and help it along to become a small growth tree.
That would be fantastic.
We'll go ahead and throw that in.
Are you
I
able
appreciate.
to grow anything, even if it's not from this area?
Functionally, given the right time and the right magics, yes, Shantea provides.
I may have a list of things I would request when you come.
Oh, by all means. If you can provide the list beforehand, we'll make sure that we can do as much as possible.
I look around for a writing desk.
He kind of points you off towards one of the other pillars, which you can see has a few kind of desk-like things around it, which amount to a large stone block with a cutout entrance for kind of where your legs sit, and a bigger block or a smaller block just next to it for you to sit on.
I will walk over and scribe out a list in their in common,
Okay.
and I will give that to you later.
All right. Sounds good. All righty. Anything else here?
Not that I can think of. Oh, I did want to ask, when does the festival, the activities begin?
On the latest point of the harvest moon, which specifically is the nocturnal portion when the moon is highest in Uktar, the 10th day of the third 10 day, as it crosses over to the first day of Nightal.
Okay, so that is how. But this is out of character. But how far away is that then?
About
Like
2 months.
Okay. If it's all right with everyone else, I'd like to be here for that.
I have plans for that specific evening.
Really? That far ahead?
Yes.
I wish I could organize my days that well.
Art gets the gist of why. At least he thinks he gets the gist of why. And will this celebration go on for multiple days or
Just a single night.
single night? Okay. We'll work on that. Anyway, thank you very much.
Of course. Blessings of Shantea be upon you.
I bow.
Yeah, and I'll bow at the blessing. And then turn and leave as I assume we were leaving.
All right. Where to next?
I'm assuming that was all the errands, correct?
Yep, that was everything that you guys needed, unless you want to. Let's see. We didn't technically swing by the temple, but you guys seem to think that it would be too unreasonable to expect the local temple to deal with anything there.
Well, also
talked to the temple about services, and they cost a lot.
The other thing with that also is wait till everything else that has just been lined up gets done, because you may have better knowledge of what is going on after the
That's true.
wizards have perused the building.
And the druids, I'm sure they'd tell us if there's something fishy going on with the land.
I mean, if there were fish there, they would know.
Because then at that point, if we want to have somebody come in and actually create a sanctified space for a shrine or a chapel beyond what that candle does, then that is something we can inquire.
While we were on the property, did we see a well?
You did.
We did. Okay.
Excellent.
But did anybody go down the well?
They did not.
Oh God, Timmy, no!
No, don't worry. I'm sure one of the people we send over will check out the well. It's part of the deal.
Looks like we need another Timmy.
Okay.
Where'd that little kid with the drum go?
And wasn't there something else we were supposed to be doing in town?
Eventually, we need to go to the prison that's supposed to lead to the Undercity.
Yeah, that's our next big quest. We don't have any fights coming up anytime soon, right?
Not for like a month.
So the only things we really have is we can, one, hang around town and investigate who poisoned us and try and dig into that.
I think we've got
The noble that sponsored us. What's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's looking into it, but we could always hold a separate investigation. Or we can just head on to our next job and get out of town so they don't get a second chance.
Well, Draho, one of the things about hunting is you don't let your quarry know you're hunting. If we start poking around, they'll know we're looking. If he does it, I'm sure he knows the right people to ask who won't let it slip. So I think we can leave that to him.
Okay, then we should
We're
probably get out of
him too, so he wants to make sure that we're taken care of.
So it's probably good we get out of town for a little while, let stuff work it out, let our house get worked on, come back.
Are we taking the Dragonstone with us?
I think it would be only smart to take it with us.
I'm reluctant to leave it since we don't have any place that's fortified sufficiently.
I mean, one of us could put it in one of our bank safes. I've got a safe deposit box for some small stuff.
I don't think that's
fortified.
enough.
Oh yes.
I wasn't saying it was going to be safe. I'm just saying it's an option.
Just not only let the dragons know where to go, but leave them a treasure hoard while we're at it.
I mean, at this point, I'll just take the bag of holding that Kibble had brought us, and I'll just drop it in there.
Personally, if we're going to carry that with us, I'd rather it be on me. Because if a dragon does attack, they'll attack me first.
Well, I don't know if this matters. Does having another dragon near it diminish its effects? Does anyone know?
Yeah, that has not been tested.
Because I was thinking we could hide it with my little friend Draken Rakar in his box. If it gives off the same impression as being a dragon, then they would mistake the pseudo dragon for it.
Yeah, but how do you think it's going to like having that shoved in its home?
I would have to ask it first. I'm just asking the question before I ask.
Also, assuming we're not going to carry him around everywhere we go. And
he goes everywhere with me.
He didn't come into the dungeon with you. He stayed in the cart.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not carrying a box around the dungeon.
My point is, we're not. So you're going to bring him into the other city? Are you, like, that defeats the point of carrying it with us.
That's a good point.
I also, if I recall correctly, it's that I think it's chromatic dragons know where it is specifically, and while he's a dragon, he's not a true dragon.
Yeah, he's a pseudo dragon.
Yeah, so I don't think he might be able to detect it, but I don't think his little tiny blip of existence matters to any other dragon. It's not just a rival to them.
Yeah, I just thought maybe they would mistake it once they felt the pseudo dragon's presence. They would just mistake it for.
Yeah, I don't think they care. I really don't.
I figured they just see it as a false sense, such as like, oh, we're just imagining it because we're dragons. I'll be fair, I did not invest a lot of research into dragons in school.
All right, so either I'm carrying it or Ark's carrying it at this point.
Based off of the description of it,
actually, neither of those statements are true.
Huh?
I reach into my armor and produce the item.
Oh. Well, if we're going to be carrying it around while we're adventuring, on the off chance that a dragon's nearby and decides to attack us, it's going to attack whoever's carrying it first. I kind of think that should be me.
Ark, I would never want you to be dragon bait for us.
I'm volunteering.
Okay.
That's been my purpose this entire time. I stand there and get wailed on while you guys kill the thing.
Okay, I'm okay with leaving it with whichever one of you heavily muscled
If
guys want to take it.
If it starts getting a little hectic, we can play hot potato with it until the thing dies.
Yeah, it's up to you guys who wants to hold it. Draho's not taking possession.
If Ark wishes to possess it, I do not argue with it. I just felt that it should be on one of our persons.
Yeah, we'll start.
Okay, that's fair.
Then if somebody wants it, they have to come through us to get it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fair.
I can take the most solid hit and live. So
Okay, so we'll give it to Ark and don't lose it.
I guess that means the bag of holding goes on me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
doesn't bother me.
By the way, this particular bag of holding, does it look like the other bags of holding that we're familiar with, or does it have any distinctive features?
Looks like your standard kind of bag of holding.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is there
no
any
initials
distinct?
sewn in or anything?
You'd have to ask Kaizen. He's the one holding it.
Yeah, let's inspect that real quick. See if it has anything that could identify it to somebody who may be missing it.
It doesn't.
What's
Okay.
Gucci?
It's where the ring I gave Navarra came from.
Okay, well, if the bag doesn't have any distinguishing markings on it that somebody could identify, then yeah, you can take it.
I think it looks rather distinguished, to be honest with you. That's why I was carrying it.
I just meant something that somebody could say, hey, that's my bag, that's my insignia or my initials.
Oh,
Yeah,
there are half a dozen spells that could easily track down the bag.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, fine. We'll deal with it when someone accuses us in the street.
Also, is that being handed off to me then? We're in agreement on that?
Yep.
As it's being given to me, I open the top flap, I look Draho in the eye, and just put my hand in it. And then pull it back out. I say
Okay.
nothing, but I know he understands.
Does he?
What did I put? My hand in the bag. My hand.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Really a handbag joke? Oh, you're just trying to catch an arrow in the next fight.
I can take it.
Yeah, right, like I'd shoot you. The most I could do is make you angry.
But I need my wrists to fire, Ark. Why?
The most I could do would make you pissed off, so I would not try it.
You would make me itchy at worst.
What are you talking about? If Drahu thinks poorly of you in his sleep, he apologizes when he wakes up. Just in case.
I like how we've sort of got this rock, paper, scissors of like prank back down here. Like we get it all worked out. There's the system.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So where to next?
Well, we've got the house being taken care of. We can't really do much more up there ourselves.
Who did we have on trying to get access to this entrance?
Oh, I've got that.
Okay, do you got access?
I hand them the paperwork that Lady McIntyre handed me last session that I forgot to mention. Again,
Draho's gonna look it over and inspect it. What's
So
it say?
basically, it's a note of worthiness from the McIntyre estate, basically giving you guys kind of a voucher that you're good people and that the upper lords and mayor should work with you.
All it says is they're with the band. Well, that's good enough for us.
Okay, this should check out. Ark, I'll give that back to you. Since it was presented to you, you probably are addressed to it.
Smells so nice. Oh.
Then we should check in with the geezer and find out if he's accomplished anything with his research.
As he
Yeah.
says it smells so nice, I walk up behind and loudly sniff Ark.
I turn around.
Do I smell perfume on Ark?
Moderately.
Huh. So do you.
Oh, do it.
As I keep walking.
Honestly, I might take a bath. What?
And Draho's gonna follow after Misaki. She really knows how to pick them.
I offered to spar with her. Why is everyone like this? People are weird.
So you guys end up making your way back to the Sword Tables Lounge. Eno's in his normal seat, sleeping.
Sleeping spot was right.
Someone want to gently wake him up?
Did he have any food in front of him?
Not at the moment.
I'm gonna wave over at why am I blanking on his name right now?
Titus?
That's the one. Like just kind of food or
Okay. He brings over a bowl of soup.
How much older does he look from last time we saw him?
Almost exponentially. Like most of his hair has fallen out. You see the like large liver spots kind of covering various portions of his face and neck, arms, what skin you can see.
it's worse than the Santa Claus, but not quite as bad as Raiders of the Lost Ark.
This what all humans look like when they reach advanced age? Is this common for 300-year-old humans?
300-year-old humans are not common. What the bear man said.
Also, has Kibble come
Present
with
man
us
bear.
the whole time, or did he just kind of go off on his own?
Yeah, he seems to have been with you the whole time.
See, interesting choice.
It's Kibble. If he wanted to disappear, we wouldn't find him.
I give Kibble a fist bump.
Kibble just, it's like, pops up or whatever. No, I've been with you the whole time. Insight check.
Well, it's a good thing he's double proficiency specialized in that.
Fist bump?
We're all
Deception.
screwed when he turns evil.
That's part of why I was paranoid, because I was like, either he's part of a thieves guild or he's part of an assassination ring, and neither looked promising for me.
To be fair, neither are mutually exclusive.
We're going to defeat all the evil undead Dragon Rider people, and then Kibble's just going to sit there on the throne, and none of us are going to blink. He's just suddenly not there.
I am Kibble, destroyer of worlds.
We're just going to go back to old episodes, and he's not in them anymore.
I am Kibble the Strong.
Yeah, you turn around, you see this funky looking throne, and he's sitting on it.
It's golden.
Oh.
It floats. He's got cool looking gloves that are all blinged out.
Yes.
And the weapons of all of his fallen enemies are decked out behind it.
Now I take my fair share.
and then the camera pans, and you see a sea of cobalt. Kibble, 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 Kibble.
All right.
I
so
mean,
Eno's
He's
still
with us
sleeping in
long
his
enough,
chair.
he will be a lord. Oh, that's a good idea. Lord Kibble. I should knight him.
He'd much prefer to be Dade.
We create our own demons.
Yeah, I don't have the authority to knight anyone anyways. I could request it.
Anyway, so Eno's awake.
No, he's still sleeping in his chair. Titus has brought you over that bowl of soup, though.
Navarro will wake him up.
And he goes,
Everything in this room.
Hello there. This has been pretty good. What?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourselves?
Well, we've spent the day investigating and making preparations for the house that Ark's friend acquired for us.
I acquired it.
Oh, friends
Well,
are
it
good. Friends
had
are
nothing to
definitely
do with
good.
you.
Wouldn't have offered it if I wasn't searching.
But I did find some information. I've been in contact with the Diviners College. Their portents in the case of this all seems to be weak or even conflicting in some cases. But they were able to confirm a couple things. First, that night that we spoke of, that last one, the drought, it's under the city. And they do agree that it is Idris Yilika. In my own research, I can additionally confirm his propensity for the slaying of dwarves, and the fact that the band of adventurers did indeed slay him at one point. Though it wasn't noted which band. Oddly, that particular note was stricken from the records. magically so. What was more concerning, though, in the records was his overall prowess in combat. It seems that his whip of fire was able to extend great distances to strike at foes both near and far. Like, it noted hundreds of yards. And, oh, excuse me, did you bring that bowl for me?
We had
Yes.
yes.
Oh, he reaches out for it, takes a sip. Thank you, son. His, where was I? Oh, yes, the shield. Oh my, the shield. That truly concerning. That dwarven shield that he possesses is not only sturdy, but directs any attacks that may connect with himself into itself. Even more so, he's a truly capable wielder of magic. The archive noted that he was, last encounter, he was capable of firing off some blast of dark energy that reduced one of those adventurers directly to ash. This may not be the best course of action to take direct offense against him. And where is the other furry one? I had news for him as well.
I'm sure you've written everything you've learned down, right?
As much as I could.
Did you write that down? Because I'll pass it on to him when I see him.
Yep. Titus, and he brings over a small piece of paper. Basically, it's a book kind of annotation on a Fey quest, where there was a tale that a group of adventurers were tasked to harness the sun and somehow feed it to the Winter Queen in order to attempt to brighten her mood. Unfortunately, in the tale, the group did not survive, but it does lend precedent to the ability to try and fix his current affliction.
Excellent. I'll make sure he gets it.
Oh, good. If he has any other questions, definitely have him come in and talk to me a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Certainly. We'll send anyone here. How long do you think you have left?
I'm truly not certain. I wouldn't expect much longer. And you can see him, he's kind of rocking in his chair and shaking his head lightly back and forth. And the hand that's holding the bowl is just sitting there. Get my hand in here. Shaking slightly, and the bowl sloshes a little bit.
Can I make you a deal? You know, you've been good to us since we came here, and it hurts me to see age affecting you that way. And you refused to drink our longevity potion we offered you.
There's a good possibility that would probably kill me at this point.
Okay. Would you be opposed to me perhaps sending one of my guards around to help you with small tasks such as food, etc.?
Oh, that won't be necessary. I have Titus.
I know, but Titus is trying to run a bar.
Yeah, that's why I sit in my old chair.
Yeah. Okay, well, if you change your mind, and I'll give him the address. This is my captain in charge of the city's units. Send word to him. They'll send someone over to take care of you if you decide.
Okay.
If things get to be too much for you to do on your own.
You see kind of a blank look in his eyes for a moment as he stares through you. And he looks up at you and, "Oh, Lord Draho, it's good to see you. I have information."
Yes. Did we not just have this talk?
I put my hand on Draho's shoulder. You know, it's we've been walking around all day. Maybe we should just eat and save that conversation for a little later.
I swear we just talked. Am I losing my mind?
Well, it's a good possibility. I've been in contact with the Diviners Guild most of the day. And he starts to ramble back into that same story.
The only reason I'm saying this is elves don't suffer dementia, so Draho doesn't know what this is.
Draho. This happens to humans when they get too old.
Really? They talk double?
Just
They forget they said the thing they said.
Just make sure you don't
Really?
get hit with that blast of dark energy. None of you need to be turned to ash.
Yeah, very good point. Thank you. I will send someone by like you asked. So yeah, then I guess we'll go eat, and I'll send word to the captain to send one of the recruits that has less stuff to do lately, one of the ones that is less useful around the place, over with instructions to tend to Eno any
I'll
way
do
he
it.
needs.
And then, as he's kind of looking around, he looks over to Nivara and kind of blinks. Lass, come here.
Yes, you know?
The mayor. He will be in the Citadel of Protection most of tomorrow. He tends to have a busy schedule when he's not out in his office. That can be rather problematic in trying to find him. Catch him there. Plead your case for entering old Sarbreen through the tunnels of Ildwater. That will be the best course.
Thank you. We will definitely do that.
Or Eno, suffering the age.
That weirdly fitting gif with the new following. Hi, follower.
Zombies, gotta love them.
Yeah. This got real awkward.
I just it's funny because legitimately I'm thinking about Draho's character and I'm like, his only interaction with humans, he's only ever dealt with humans that were middle-aged and oldest, so he really doesn't know anything about human aging.
To be fair, in a society like this, not many people make it past middle age.
So this is the whole thing of like, this is a new territory for him. He's unsettled by what age looks like in other races.
Yeah, we have to deal with that Draho.
He's progressed
surprised
like
you-
this in a week.
I'm surprised you're not all fighting over that longevity potion if this is what you have to look forward to.
We could drink that longevity potion tomorrow and then get killed by a blast of dark energy the next day. What's the point?
At least you'd still be functioning till the end.
But I
I'll just
no
find
need of
out.
it. I will go when it is my time.
Hey, maybe we'll encounter some magic that makes us older. That's when we can use it.
Or maybe we can run into another old bastard and make him drink it and kill him that way.
Or encounter a young bastard and unmake him.
Feed it to a child.
Not a child, just a young bastard.
That poor little drummer boy.
What was the rate? What was the range on aging of that potion?
1d4 plus X amount of years, and a potential if you've drank more than one in your life of it reversing and aging you.
So that's what he meant by he would probably kill him. He's probably drank a couple of them now.
We can
But
first
if
get
he's
to a goblin
progressed this far in a week, I imagine he's only got a couple of days left.
Yeah, well, hopefully he writes down everything he learned so he doesn't forget it.
By the looks of things, come tomorrow morning, he'll need someone to dictate.
And that's why I sent someone over.
Just go into the warehouse. Which one of you is the most literate?
Pretty much the message I sent was send the guy that's the least useful and the most competent at writing and reading.
My suggestion would be for you folks to get to work on figuring out how we can deal with that death ray. And that'll give us the time to spend the next couple of days here and take care of him until he passes.
We need to find a
that
way
could
to
work
get
too.
that shield off of him, too.
That's easy. I know how to do that. There's a spell. I do not have access to it, but I've seen it work. It heats metal to an unbearable degree.
Does that work on magical items as well?
Anything metal.
Well, we'll see how long he can stand that kind of heat.
I would say all you have to do is be able to touch him. But if the shield pulls attacks to it, get wrecked.
The official
No,
motto of arachnophobia. Get
Perhaps
wrecked.
if we could find a way to immobilize him.
If he's a powerful spellcaster, his resistance to those types of spells would be immense.
I'm not talking about spells.
I've got an idea.
So
Why don't
you're
we-
going to sneak up on the person with the death ray and the mile-long flame whip and put him in a headlock? I mean, I'm
Unless
not saying
you
it can't be done. It's just a very dwarven solution.
You spend a lot of time around dwarves.
I have a suggestion. We could all circle around him and hit him till he's dead.
I'm certain he's never seen that tactic before. Brilliant.
He probably hasn't.
Are there ways to perhaps hinder his ability to use magic? I noticed when you guys cast spells, you have to say words.
I don't.
Well, there's that. Also, I don't know how much of his biological ancestry he retains, but drow have been known to have a weakness for bright light.
If nothing else, well, we might have to find a solution for Kibble. Because that makes it harder for him to hit them.
Mm-hmm. Bright light's bad.
The other option,
Okay, Gizmo.
all undead generally don't enjoy holy water. We could get a lot of it.
I can throw that.
Or we can just sneak up on him and give him a bath of it.
I mean, I'm sure by this point our cleric is high enough level. I'm pretty sure clerics can create holy water by level
I can
5.
create holy water. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, like there's an actual spell I think they brought out in Xanathar's that specifically, I think it's part of ritual that specifically makes holy water.
It just costs 50 gold piece. Is either 50 or 25 gold piece worth of silver dust.
It does indeed.
Okay, I didn't know that part. I just know
It's
in the
called
list.
ceremony is the spell.
Ceremony. That's it.
Okay.
There are a
Right, 'cause
number of-
nobody ever wanted to marry my character to get the bonus from it.
I suppose the other option, which would be non-magical, would be to acquire a great deal of lodestone.
Oh.
Lodestone sticks to metal. You just lob a significant portion of it at him and then make him choose between dragging a lot of weight around or dropping the shield.
Ooh, I can throw heavy things.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's just silly enough to work.
It doesn't do anything about the death ray and the mile-long fire whip. Not that
Yeah,
I'm
but it
too
also-
worried about the mile-long fire whip myself.
Well,
But if it can reach as far as you can shoot a bow, it would ruin your day, Lord Draho. Not to mention your outfit.
That is true. I've not flame-proofed anything in a long time.
well, if we can get him to in any way just ditch the shield, then he becomes more vulnerable to direct attack.
Well, it seems like there are 3 things we need to come up with solutions for. Well, 4 things. The shield, the whip, the death ray, and the thing that we don't know about.
Well, the death
Oh,
ray should be easy. Just duck.
Do any of you magic people have the ability to cancel his casting? Like to counterspell him?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I never went past the initiate phase of my magical training.
Because if we had someone who could do that and just kind of stick to doing that until we can close in on him, it would help. Wait, couldn't we? Would that work with scrolls?
It would be very tough. I don't think it would work well.
Okay.
I mean, there are other spells I have heard of that could absolutely make this problem less of a problem. They are beyond our ken.
Actually, I like the idea. We could locate. Head by. Actually, I actually, I'm invested in a small herbalism and apothecary shop.
Of course you are.
He might be able, or even potions, notions, and lotions might be able to get a hold of a scroll that has like some sort of counter spell or something like that, and we can just turn it into a cigar and anyone can use it. So we could probably get a couple scrolls of counter spells if somebody wants to look into that. Might even get them at a discount.
I don't know if I am willing to bet that if said scrolls existed, they would be exceptionally rare, as they would be exceptionally valuable.
You never know.
It might
got a
be
hold of some
cheaper to
pretty
just
unique
pay
stuff.
somebody to dig a tunnel to the frickin' ocean and flood the whole damn place. Call it a day.
Just giving the suggestion that it might work for us. No one has to take it, just throwing that out there.
Or, actually, sunlight.
Well, I'm
The
sure.
the radiant energy is another thing that generally ruins undead's day.
Well, we need to have probably plans A through double F.
Well, if we're looking at radiant, somebody might want to stop by the church and see if they don't have maybe a medallion that produces sunlight or something.
You just like bling.
I think he's
Everything
trying
has
make
to
the
be a
word-
medallion. F you. Find a medallion.
Would the medallion would, I mean, if we're trying to recreate sunlight, one would imagine the medallion would be in the shape of a disc.
Well, Draho does like to count his discs.
You know what? Eventually, you guys are going to have me to a point where you're going to be walking around and be like, why does every piece of jewelry Draho own have a pyramid shape to it?
He's part of the Illuminati. Get him!
Like, I'm just going to start. I'm sorry. Do you have this in anything that's not a medallion?
All right. Well, it sounds like we need to maybe do some research and come up with a plan,
Yep.
and then go
I
talk
need
to
a
the mayor
training
tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Draho would definitely go do some research at the library since he only needs 4 hours of sleep before the next day.
So I think the DM has a thing to say, and I think I know what that thing is.
Yeah, it is about that time. So that being the case, we'll go ahead and pick up next week with you guys checking in with the mayor, coming up with an appropriate game plan for how you want to get into and hopefully safely out of Old Sarbreen.
So you're saying we need to figure out how we want to do this?
Yep, that's right. That said, thank you everyone for coming and joining to play, and to all of our viewers for watching. We'll catch you again next week, same time, same bat channel.